Hello and welcome to Fan TV. I am Toby Tarrant and I will be here live for the next 3 hours to talk to real football fans just like you. And before I tell you about today's show, I'll round up all the talking points from last night's show with Kiri Blur. West Ham fan Greg joined Josh, our resident baggy, who wished for Brendan Rodgers at the Hawthorns, and Kiri couldn't agree more, admitting that she has a crush on the guy. I'm with you there, Kiri. Chris Darwin had spent the day figuring out how much it must cost to insure Jack Wilshere, and after his latest paddleboarding antics, I would say he probably cost Bournemouth a pretty penny. Kiri enjoyed a one-sided Skype call with Adam and one-word responses, and then Gianluca had 2 slots on the show last night. We found out he is not only an Arsenal fan, but our Italian expert, European expert, and newly named Brexit expert as well. We should really start paying that guy, frankly. Richard the Saints fan seemed to be calling out Joey Barton from the comfort of the lime green sofa. I don't rate his chances despite being twice the man that Joey is, quite literally. You'll see him in a sec. And Stephen, our non-league man, said it would be a goal fest at Eastleigh. Don't know if a 1-1 draw counts, really. I don't know. Still knows more than we do, though, so we can forgive his rubbish predictions. And Gillingham fans Josh and James weren't optimistic about anything with the current manager still in place and said Justin was to blame for everything. I think he meant Edinburgh, not Justin Lee Collins, by the way. Lone Manchester United fan John was terrorised last night. Kiri mentioned she was a secret Reading fan and he booed her in the wings and got so much abuse for being a posh boy from London supporting Manchester United. But it didn't stop him, though, when he came to the sofa stating that United have the best defence in the league. John, you're 8th in the table. Remember that at all times. Let's have a look at the highlights.
Tony Pulis signed a new contract. That's good, right? Okay, that's not good. Chris, did you hear my punnerful intro to you?
I did, yes. Yes. Well done.
Whatever, Chris. Oh, whatever. Okay,
Thank you for setting the bar high for this evening.
Are you serious? Yaya Touré's got a song out? Brilliant. Well, I suppose he's got nothing else to do, has he? Okay, I like it. I like it. That is very good. He's covered Justin Bieber's, sorry.
Pep likes his proper youngsters and to be able to blood them in the way he wants.
You mean
them. So
players, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, sure. No, he's not Arsene Wenger.
Allegedly. Looks like Hasselbank may be on the way out. So is this the time for Forest?
I'm unsure, really.
Okay.
Blunt and to the point.
I fell in love with you.
That's all right.
The last one should last forever. It's all over now.
No,
Nothing
seriously,
left
you're right
to say. Just the chills and the rain.
Very good, guys. Very good.
La 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 la.
So is that what the stadium's like? Just 2 blokes singing these days?
Basically, yeah.
You got Michael Owen, John Terry, Jermaine Defoe, Fraser Forster.
Right, then this is why I should be England manager.
Yeah, okay. To be honest, I have to say I am a secret Reading fan. So, yeah, don't boo me for being a secret Reading fan. You support Manchester United and you live in London. Shh. Oh, I feel bad asking you this. Apparently you threw your teddy bear off your bed when we were coming to Skype you. It's all right. The boys have got teddy bears at home as well. We've all got teddy bears, haven't we?
Yeah, no.
It's fair enough when you're
I wasn't actually going to talk about football. I thought we could avoid the subject.
All right, okay. Yeah. What else do you do in your spare time?
They found the world's biggest worm in England yesterday.
Gross. Okay, yeah, seriously. If that's where you're going with your topics, we've got to go back to it. It was Putin, 3rd time in a row tonight. It seems...
Putin or Putin?
Hey! Can we get Jean?
I'm here all week.
The problem is, Swansea are also looking to break their unbeaten run.
Unwinnable run.
Yeah, but they're going to go into this on Sunday so determined to break that curse.
But they're a bad team.
Well, they've beaten you in this fixture the last 2 seasons.
I think wind your neck in, John.
That was last night's show here on Fan TV, and now onto this afternoon's lineup. We are going to kick things off with Newcastle and Manchester United fans Thomas and Pete, and they are brothers and support 2 teams from up north whilst living in London. and apparently their dad is a QPR fan. So I can see myself having some fun with this. Lads, I hope you're ready for that. Later on, I'll be joined by Liverpool fans Derry and Marlon, who also play for Celeb FC. Now, Derry is an ex-X Factor contestant, and Marlon was in Big Brother. I'm hoping that they have come on to invite me to be a part of the team. I'm sure my week on Drive Time this week has given me the celebrity status required, and if not, I'll throw in the fact that I'm Chris Tarrant's son as well. They will be joined by our non-celebrity Watford fan Gareth to look ahead to Sunday's game. And last up, it is North London derby time. Lee and Tom are in the red corner, whilst Dave will single-handedly be in the white. Both teams have injuries and both played midweek, but who will come out on top? One thing I can say for sure is on derby day, expect the unexpected. Coming to join me first up is Thomas and Pete. Come on, chaps. Here we go. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? All right? Good to see you, chaps. Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat. So let's talk about this then, first and foremost. So, Newcastle fan, Manchester United fan. How did that come about?
So imagine you're about 9 years old and you're trying to pick a football team, right? Who's my favourite footballer? Alan Shearer. Who's Alan Shearer just signed for? Newcastle United. I support Newcastle United. Perfect. Oh, now I'm stuck with Newcastle United for the next 20 years. I've made a terrible mistake. But yeah, no matter how well or bad we're doing, I am now stuck with
Hey,
the
we
team
had
I
Gillingham
selected.
fans on the sofa last night, mate. It could be worse.
Oh, there we go.
It could be worse. And Manchester United?
Glory fan.
Glory fan. Glory
Well,
fan.
the bit that annoys me though when people say that, because like, you know, if you're going to like the horses or like the dogs or something, you're not going to back the horse with three
With
legs.
a gammy leg.
Yeah, and be like, I want him to win. Like, no, you don't. You want the winner to win. You know, I was 6 years old picking a football club. So firstly, do you know what glory is? Like, and then secondly, they had Eric Cantona at the time. How you're picking Alan Shearer over Eric Cantona, I literally have no idea because the guy
picking the greatest footballer of all time. It's not really a challenge, is it?
Oh God, that's a big statement. I mean, I'm not saying Alan Shearer is not good, but Eric Cantona, the king of football, literally the king of football, playing at United at the time. Like there was no other team to pick.
And you like wrestling as well, which I'm surprised you don't like Cantona.
I do, yes. I mean, it's a pretty good week to be on as a wrestling/football fan because Tim Weiser debuted for the WWE this week.
I've heard about this. He's the old German goalkeeper.
Yeah, the old German. It was like the secondary keeper, I think, behind Oliver Kahn. And this week he debuted in the WWE in a tag team match. And I'm like, oh, he's going to be terrible. And I looked at the footage, and he's throwing hip tosses, drop kicks, clotheslines. You've got to go online and find it. It's amazing. Yeah, Tim Weiser.
Is he a unit? Is he?
He's like ripped to shreds.
Is he?
Yeah, and he's.
Thank you for saying shreds.
Yes, just shreds. I'm well trained. Yeah, and he looks like he's going to be good, but I mean, I guess we'll wait and see. But he is.
German goalkeepers do love a bit of a fight, though, don't they? You got like Oliver Kahn. Didn't he smack someone in the face? Jens Lehmann clothesline a fan. Like,
Yeah.
German goalkeepers are nutters.
We've got a whole feature lined up on Fan
Clearly,
TV.
yeah,
Ready to go.
exactly.
What's the ages here? I'm sorry to ask.
So I am 28.
26.
26. So how was it? And your dad's a QPR fan. Did he not try and impact QPR upon you?
He tried to take me to. Well, he did take me to. My first game, I think, was QPR Coventry. I
thought you were going to say QPR Newcastle.
No. Yeah, no, QPR Coventry. I think it was 0-0. On the way home, we got back to our car and it had been broken into. And then I came into school the next day, probably about 5 or 6 at this time, with a QPR scarf on. Got made fun of and decided they weren't the team for me.
Really?
So shortly afterwards,
Not
it was
bold.
Newcastle United.
Weak.
I don't know, a goalless draw and your car getting broken into.
Yeah,
don't blame me.
so QPR. Good team.
I go a little bit more for QPR. So I go to quite a few games. I go with my dad, so he takes me, and then it was like a bit easier to go actually see some games. Not a fan in London, can't go out there.
Exactly.
Cost a fortune. So I've done quite a lot of QPR, and it's probably my second team. So I'm struggling both ways for the last 5 seasons.
So basically you're your dad's favourite is what you're saying there.
Yes, well obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just checking. Just checking. To be fair, I mean, I'm a similar boat in terms of I'm a Liverpool fan. As you can tell, not from Liverpool.
Glory hunter.
The glory, exactly.
In fairness, I do also go to a lot of Stevenage games, who are my local team.
Okay.
Which is also quite depressing at the moment because we lose every week.
Oh,
But we had a
right,
good season in League One. That was pretty fun.
That was nice.
About 4 years ago. So
That was nice.
So yeah.
They had a cup run, was it, a few years back as well, didn't they, Stevenage?
Yeah, well, this I've got, like, I swear it was a scarf made for me. You know the half and half scarves you get for, when it's a big team versus a little
The
team?
awful scarves.
So
awful.
Yeah, the awful one. So I'm, walking up to the game and it's like, oh my God, a Newcastle Stevenage scarf. This is the best thing
I was
ever.
picturing some women in a factory in Taiwan doing
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Who the hell is Stevenage?
And then it was a very weird, because obviously Newcastle and Stevenage never played each other. And I literally didn't know who to support, so I was cheering every goal that went in. And Stevenage beat Newcastle 3-1.
Yeah, that was it.
So and it was a really good game.
We went to a Stevenage game. We went to Stevenage Spurs.
When was that?
That was about 3 seasons ago. Stevenage went away to Spurs. We went down, went to White Hart Lane.
Oh yeah, we scored.
It's a largely forgettable experience.
We got a penalty in like 3 minutes.
Scored.
And, Scott Laird scored. Everyone went mental, obviously, because Stevenage had beaten Spurs, and then I think they beat us about 4-1 or something. But it was a good few minutes.
The FA Cup's it's about enjoying that small moment in time, isn't it? We're going to take our first break, and then we'll focus on Newcastle and Manchester United. Quickly as well, we are launching our first poll of the evening on Twitter at FanTVUK. You might have an opinion on this. We'll talk about it after the break. Who is the worst signing off the back of one good major tournament? Is it Kleberson to Manchester United, El Hadj Diouf to Liverpool, and Moussa Sissoko to Spurs? And then if you have any other opinion as well, you can comment as well. Please tweet us at FanTVUK. And also you can Skype us as well on the Fan TV channel if you want to get in touch about your team playing at any point over the weekend. We are going to take our first break of the evening, and then I want to get your opinion on Moussa Sissoko. £30 million apparently. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the lime green sofas in just a few moments' time. Stay with us. Welcome back to Fan TV. There are some games going on in the Premier League at the moment and lots of other leagues as well, but we're focused on the Premier League at the moment. Bournemouth are 1-1 with Sunderland. That is at Bournemouth. It would be a great win if Sunderland can hit that. David Moyes needs it. Crystal Palace are 2-0 down away at Burnley. Things just aren't falling into place for Crystal Palace at the moment. Man City 1-0 up at home to Middlesbrough. Sergio Aguero, surprise, surprise, has scored the goal there. And West Ham are 0-0 at their beloved new stadium against Stoke City at the moment. And we have Nicholas on Skype who's watching the Man City game for us. Nicholas, you there, mate?
Yes, how are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. How are you doing, all right?
So far, so good. Up 1-0 is definitely positive so far.
And Sergio Aguero got the goal. Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just an unbelievable ball from Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, he's world-class, easily worth the price we paid for him. He put it in a spot only Aguero could get to it, and Aguero just slotted it in. I could have scored that goal, to be quite honest.
I don't know about that, mate. Come on, come on, Nicholas. Come on, don't kid yourself, Nicholas, mate. From the accent, you're calling from across the pond, I believe?
Yes, New York City in United States.
How did Manchester City come about? You're almost as far away from your team as you support as
Well, most of them are in London, right?
Yeah, exactly. How did Man City come about?
Well, for me, my whole soccer enlightenment came during the 2010 World Cup, and the only thing I really knew at that time was I hated Wayne Rooney.
That's amazing. What reason?
I knew that he played for Man United, and they're sort of, the big team that everyone knows. Even if you don't know football, you know Man United, and I picked their biggest rival, who came up as Man City.
I love that.
That's the best reason.
Gutted for Liverpool fans. Got to be gutted.
Yeah, I know. Like now, seeing the Liverpool-Man United rivalry, I'm surprised I didn't stumble upon them. But I think I just typed into Google Manchester, and I saw City and United. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm Manchester.
That's an amazing reason to support a team entirely based on a hatred of Wayne Rooney, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's very, very strong.
We've all been there.
Exactly. We might Skype you again later if another goal goes in, or maybe at full time as well. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be watching the game and write my article after the game finishes.
See, over in the States, you actually get the 3 o'clock kickoffs, don't you? You actually get to watch it on a proper TV channel.
I could flip from this. I can go to any of the games. Right now, it looks like Sunderland and Bournemouth is going to be the game to watch, though.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
well, don't watch it because we need your reports on the Manchester City game.
It looks like he's watching loads of screens, like a trader. Like he's got all these games.
I'm imagining him in that room in the Matrix. With loads of less games
He's
all
a
around
Minority
him.
Report, just throwing out the highlights.
Yeah, exactly. Nicholas, mate, thank you for Skyping us in, and good luck. Good luck
No
for the
problem.
rest of the game.
Thank you.
I think they need to get a second there just to put it to bed, don't they? It's always a bit nervy, 1-0. Middlesbrough are a good side at the minute as well. Take your pick, really. Should we start with Newcastle?
Let's do it.
I mean, you guys have come at a bad time, really, because it's going very well for one of the teams on the sofa at the moment.
Such a good year. I love the Championship so much. It happened last time we went down. I was just really depressed because we've been so bad for about 3-4 years. And it's like, we're winning everything. It was a bit dodgy at the start.
It's always a bad year
it's
when
a
you
great
should be in the
year.
Premier League.
This will be typical Newcastle, because I reckon this year Newcastle are going to win the League Cup because we're in the Championship. That was so typical of Newcastle to pick up their first trophy in the Championship.
Don't worry, mate, that won't happen.
We got Hull in the quarterfinals,
which is as easy as win there is in the Football League ladder at the moment.
I think we're better than Hull. And then, the semi-final and final obviously will be more difficult games, but I reckon if you're there, then I think there's a strong possibility Newcastle could win the League Cup this year.
You heard it here first.
I'm
not going to put my house on it. I hope you're not offended.
Well, maybe you should.
And that's why you'll never be a millionaire.
You need more
Who wants to be one, though, at the end of the day? Hey, here we go. I can tell you as well that your rivals, Sunderland, have just had Stephen Pienaar sent off. He was right. Bournemouth, Sunderland seems to be the game to watch. Fun watching what's going on with David Moyes at Sunderland?
That's a combination. So I think it might have been Alan Shearer tweeted it out the other day, was saying, just wanted to point out, Sunderland are actually only one place above Newcastle at the moment, and we've been winning a lot more games. It's a good season.
It is a bit of a double-edged sword going down to the Championship. It hurts so much getting relegated, but I remember watching my old man go through it with Reading. And then when you start winning games, you go, this is lovely.
But you know what? If we didn't have Rafa, I'd have been a lot more despondent about going down. But the second time, I'm staying. I'm going to be on.
If it was Joe Kinnear.
Exactly. If it was Joe Kinnear, I mean, that would be silly to hire Joe Kinnear as a manager. Who would ever do? Oh, no, that was someone else. With Rafa, I have complete faith. He's got rid of all the most of the people we didn't want to get rid of. There are a couple that you would like to see him stay, but on the whole, I think it's been fantastic for us, and we've made a lot of money off a lot of bad players.
Well, let's talk about our poll that's out at the moment. Who is the worst player to be signed off the back of a major tournament?
He wore this. That's the hint.
Yeah.
He's so bad, Sissoko.
I mean, he's awful.
So bad. When we signed
in the week against Leverkusen, he was atrocious.
The thing that annoys me about him is that he's evidently so good at football. Like, he's clearly really good. He's powerful, and he's strong, and he's quick, and he's got all of these things. He just doesn't give a damn. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you've worked so hard to get to the Premier League, because he must have worked hard. You can't, you don't get signed to Newcastle or Spurs or make the French national team because you're dossing about. Get some pictures out.
Yeah. There's been a goal, I believe. It's coming. Burnley 2, Palace 1. Connor Wickham has pulled one back. Why so much hatred on Palace for no apparent?
Yeah, woo! I like Pardew. Newcastle treated him like, and then they went down after they fired him, so serves them right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought Steve McLaren would be a bad idea as well?
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
Nobody would have. That's the right.
Absolutely nobody. Let's talk as well about the man you've touched on already, Rafa Benitez. I love this quote from Jose Perez in the week, who says, "The whole dressing room shuts up when Rafa speaks." I think when Joe...
So they should.
Yes, exactly. It's quite hard to understand as well. You need to keep quiet. But I mean, He's an absolute legend, isn't he, Rafa Benitez? I've got my Liverpool hat on here very firmly, but when he's at the right club with the fans that get behind him, he's proven that he's a brilliant manager, and the fans have just fallen in love with him, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, it was one where we signed him, like, oh, that's a really good signing, and then he's just proven to be so much. Like, if we'd had him 2 or 3 games earlier, we'd still be in the Premier League. I have complete faith that we would have been there, but unfortunately it went the way it did. But we had a bit of a shaky start to the Championship, but now it's kind of, his rotation policy seems to be working really well. Like, a player will score 2 goals and then he'll put him on the bench for the next game. And at first you're a bit like, oh, that's
Get used to that, yeah.
But now he's playing, 3, 4 strikers, and all of them are scoring goals. He is brilliant. He's done such a good job, and he's the best manager I think we've had since Bobby Robson.
I was going to say,
who is, well, obviously my favourite manager of all time. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
So Rafa is
Rafa needs to sack his agent though. To start in Madrid in one season and finish in Newcastle, he needs to sack his agent.
That's a bad job. He needs to sack his agent, get Pogba's on the right. You get a lot more money as well.
Exactly, he's the one you need. That was his name, Bruno or whatever his name is. So at the minute, 6 wins in a row, looking like it's going to be 7, 2-0 up currently. 3 points clear, plus 20 goal difference, 1 to 10 with some bookies to get promoted this year. Is there anything stopping you going up this year?
Barring an act of God, I think we're all right.
Watch out, Donald Trump might be American.
Yeah,
well,
I was going to say, but barring suddenly all our strikers suddenly falling over and breaking their legs in at the same time or something, we've got a big enough squad, we've got a strong enough squad, we've got a great manager, we're playing well. I'd say this is a better squad than we had last time.
Well, I was going to ask you exactly that. I mean, it does almost seem to be that your team. I mean, there's almost a state of, you look at Newcastle now and they do look too good for the Championship. Almost the question is, how the hell did you get relegated? And also, how the hell did you get relegated twice in a few years?
Yeah.
Well, I think both times it goes back to the chairman, unfortunately, Mike Ashley. But I will say, in fairness, in the last couple of years, he has, gone, well, no, we're going to change things. Like, he gave that speech the season before we almost went down and ended up going down. But the season we went down, he invested, what was it, £70 million or something? Like, he did the right things, but unfortunately, he decided Steve McLaren was a great hire. Now he's kind of got his head on straight and decided that Rafa's the guy, and he's given Rafa what he wants to be the manager. I'm a lot more optimistic for him, being the owner of Newcastle.
Rafa strikes me as the type who'd probably go in and approach that meeting like, do you realise who I am?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea the clubs I manage,
Yeah.
I'll do what I want to do,
Yeah,
and you go run Sports Direct,
Yeah.
and I'll do my bit, which is winning.
I feel like before maybe the managers were a bit, beholden to Mike Ashley.
Maybe a bit of puppets.
Yeah, well, I like this player. Well, I don't really like, we're going to sign him. Oh, okay, then cool. Whereas Rafa's like, want this player. Well, I want this player. I think that's the difference that there is now.
Problem was you didn't have any managers with any backbone.
Yeah, well, now we do, so it's great.
Yeah, exactly, no. And also, I mean, is it an example of, you got relegated, but Matt Ritchie left Bournemouth from the Premier League to come join you. It's kind of a sign that Newcastle are a huge, huge club, whether they're in the Premier League or the Championship.
Well, I mean, if you're looking purely at attendance, we're 3 or 4 in the country, I think. I think there was a stat the other week that out of all the games...
3rd or 4th.
Who's number 1 in that list? No fun, no.
Oh, here you go. Tottenham on a Champions League night.
Yeah. But I think that, if you're looking at that, I think it was a few weeks ago, out of all the games in Europe, Newcastle in the Championship was the 3rd most attended game. I mean, that says that you're a big club. You just need to match that with what you're doing on the pitch. And I think now we finally have the manager who can actually make that happen for the first time in at least a decade.
It's been really that bad. It's been that bad, has it?
It's really been that bad. You've had a couple of hopeful spots where you've had
Well, you came 5th one year, didn't you?
5th one, yeah, with Pardew.
Cisse was banging them in.
Yeah, Cisse and I think Demba Ba was with us still. They were both scoring loads of goals, and it was really
scored
good.
that absolute world
Against
Chelsea, yeah.
Oh.
FIFA goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one where Drogba turned around and was like.
Yeah.
It was like everyone just leave. That kind of goal, the whole other team has to quit.
When that goes in, it's not your day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
unreal goal.
Yeah, we had one good season, which was followed up by just very slowly going downwards towards the relegation area. But I mean, we had a good season with Pardew. I don't think Chris Hughton should have really been sacked when he was sacked. I think we were about 10th in the league after coming up. But I mean, on the whole, it's been pretty depressing.
Big Sam as well. Did he get a raw deal?
No, I never liked Big Sam with it. He played a lot of 4-5-1-ing or 4-4, very defensive football. I remember that was the season we went down, obviously, with Big Sam the first time, And in that season, I think Derby County got, I want to say 11 points.
11?
Points.
They won one game. They beat you. Kenny Miller scored.
Let's say it was 11.
Excellent football
Thank you.
You're in my pub quiz.
Let's say 11 points. Of those 11, 4 came from Newcastle. That's how bad we were that season.
I remember speaking to my mate who was a big Derby fan, and he told me that he went to the Newcastle game and they beat you 1-0. And then the next week he was going, I tell you what, if we start stringing a few wins together, we can stay up here. And then 30 seconds in the next week, they were 2-0 down to Birmingham. Cameron Jerome braced. He was like, yeah, no, maybe not. Maybe just Newcastle were awful.
Yeah, no, that was a very bad season.
We're going to take another quick break, and then unfortunately we have to talk about Manchester United. I'm sorry to do that to you.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. A quick one as well. Get in touch on Twitter @FanTVUK. As it was the Mobos this week, we are asking you to tweet in your suggestions of songs to describe your football team. So we've come up with a couple at Fan TV to give you an idea. Life is a roller coaster for Crystal Palace, The Final Countdown for David Moyes, and Anything from Rage Against the Machine for Charlton. So if you can think of anything better, tweet us @FanTVUK. If you can think of a song that best describes your football club at the moment, then let us know. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Sky Channel 212. If you don't know where that is, it's somewhere between Babe Station and the Jewellery Channel. We will be back in a few moments' time. So I'm so getting fired after this. We will be back in a few moments' time talking about Manchester United, so stay with us. Welcome back to Fan TV. It is a show that football fans are talking about. We're also having a very good chat about WWE in the break there as well, which was thoroughly enjoyable. We're going to talk about Manchester United, and we have a Manchester United fan joining us on Skype as well to join in the discussion. Hello, mate. You there? Hello, mate. How you doing? All right? No? Brilliant. Can you...
Oh, mate, your only support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need him. Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, here we go. Perfect. Hello, thank you very much for joining us. What game's going on behind you, by the way?
That's the Man City Middlesbrough game.
Still 1-0?
Yeah, still 1-0.
Watch it. Turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't have the rights to that. Exactly, yeah. Well, we joined you on because we're going to talk about Manchester United at the minute.
Very well.
Not going very well, really, is it, at Manchester United, in a nutshell? As you can tell, it's really unpopular that Manchester United aren't doing very well. I mean, let's start with the game in the week. 2-1 away at Fenerbahce. And the Europa League, I got the impression that it started off as a bit of a distraction for Mourinho. but he's been putting out some strong teams since. I mean, I think he sees that as a viable route into the Champions League. I don't think the league he sees as a sure thing at the moment. Is that a fair assessment, do you think? I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name, by the way, on Skype.
I go by AJ. I have a relatively complicated first name, so I just go by AJ.
AJ, I can remember that one. I remember AJ. Yeah, let's start with you, AJ. Is that a fair assessment? Do you think Mourinho has targeted the Europa League a bit more since the league didn't really start going to plan?
Yeah, I think so. He seemed to make that comment in the press conference actually before the Fenerbahce game. I think before joining United, he'd said that Europa was a much lesser competition than the Champions League, and we weren't really interested. I think now that we sit 8th in the table, 7 points from top 4, similar to Van Gaal actually last season, where about later on in January realized that getting top 4 might be a little more difficult. So the Europa is definitely a viable option to get in Champions League. I don't necessarily think that we're even doing that much better in Europa. So I think that's even an issue to discuss. That even if Europa is a viable option for us, we're not looking quite dominant in it for it to be a competition that we win and get into the Champions League with. So I don't know, just another issue, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, could you ever see this? A few games into the season, when you were winning, Ibrahimovic was scoring. You just broken the transfer world record. Did you ever imagine we'd be sat here at the beginning of November with the way it is at the moment?
Yeah, I think there's always there's a little bit of that to be expected. There's a whole bunch of new players, new managers, new team. I mean, is there any situation in any football team ever where you have all of those changes going on and they accelerate through the first 10 weeks? Well, actually Pep, but that's all gone wrong now. But there
top of the league and beating Barcelona, yeah, they're
exactly,
struggling at the moment.
It's struggling at City times. So, but they've got Aguero, so it's unfair.
Yeah.
But it's kind of...
If only you'd signed like the most expensive player in the world or something.
If only you'd signed the most expensive player in the world.
That would help you,
Yeah, no, it's interesting because he is the most expensive player in the world, like, now. And so everyone obviously puts him in with Messi and Ronaldo and Suarez and all these great players. So, like, he's obviously got to go. He's got to get a goal every game, and maybe bang a hat trick every now and again, like banging those kind of 40-yard free kicks. Like, he is not a forward, and so it makes it very difficult for him to have the same kind of impact that maybe some of these like players where it's their job to score goals. That's what they're being like brought in for. Whereas Pogba's role in the squad, firstly, it's not defined because they seem to be playing him defensive mid. Now they've got him further forward. They're dropping Rooney and putting Pogba in there. So I think with Pogba at Juve, he had such a great team around him as well to kind of build him into that system. He had a bit of time to be like, right, where am I going to play? Also, he had a bit of freedom to be kind of like, I'm going to go a bit wild here. I'm going to, if 30 yards out, I'll probably have a go from here. But in Premier League, you can't really do that.
The thing is, though, I mean, Manchester United have spent 400 million in 3 years. Shouldn't he have a good team around him by now?
I think he's got a good team around him. But the money thing of Man United is kind of crazy for me, and people talk about it because people talk about going out and spending 400 million like we're like Burnley. Like, God, it's a crazy amount of money. But that's United's profit. They are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like maybe they are the biggest club in the world. They're up there with Real Madrid and Barcelona in terms of the money that they bring in.
A few Arsenal and Liverpool fans disagree.
But they are. So if you have all of this money available to you, and your brand is being one of the biggest clubs in the world, and your brand is saying, well, as a brand, to remain as one of the biggest clubs in the world, we've got to have the biggest players in the world. And if you have that money available to you, there is no team out there. If they were being given, like, here's 100 million every season to go and pay on, well, unless you're Arsenal.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, they only spend it. They only said...
They got that money. They ain't spending it at all. So,
You'll get your go later, don't worry. I mean, you only spend a percentage. You're right. You only spend a percentage of what you earn. Exactly.
It's like being annoyed at, like, Apple for spending loads of money on phones. Yeah. Like, they got loads of money.
On turtlenecks. Why does Steve Jobs spend so much money on turtlenecks back in the day? Where does it all go?
Exactly.
I mean, AJ, you've spent 400 million 3 years, and your first choice right back's Antonio Valencia. How does that happen?
So, I mean, the spending, I have a very different opinion on the spending, okay? I think Fergie left. There were a lot of holes in the team to fill. And it's going to take time to do that. And it's going to take, buying players. And sometimes those players are not going to work out. I mean, I remember when Fergie was trying to build out, after the 2003 season, we bought Jemba, right? He failed, right? We bought a series of players. Hines, right? We had a bunch of players that came in during that period of time that didn't necessarily do what we required. It's going to happen when you're rebuilding, okay? Right back, we tried out Darmian, right? That was the only right back we actually bought as a right back. He had a few good games when he first came in. Got shown out by Alexis Sanchez. Hasn't really recovered since then. Valencia seems to be, filling out the role very well. So for me, it's about whoever can play the role the best, right? I mean, you want the best right back in the world, but where are they, right? We tried to go for Klein, I remember. He decided to go to Liverpool, sure. I'm not going to sit here and think Klein is that much better than Valencia.
Oh, whoa.
That is completely fair.
Whoa.
This season,
You're lucky you're in America, AJ.
Over the course of a season, I think Valencia offers you more than Klein does.
Whoa! What?
He does. In terms of pace, strength, right, ability to take on defenders, I don't see Klein doing anything necessarily fantastic on a day-to-day basis. He's just
I'm sorry. We've got a very direct comparison in England for Klein, which is Kyle Walker, because they're both right backs. Has Klein even been picked for England in the last season?
Klein over Valencia. I'm sorry, not Klein, Walker. I think Walker is a phenomenal right back.
Let's just agree they're both dreadful. And we'll stick with Valencia.
They're both a poor man's Antonio Valencia.
They're a poor man's Valencia, and we all know
I
it.
don't think there's a deeper insult than that.
Cutting some harsh
Hi,
truths.
poor man's Antonio Valencia. How you doing?
Nice to meet you. I've been described by Time Magazine as a poor man's Antonio Valencia. AJ, I'm just going to let that comment pretend it never happened and move swiftly on. You're calling from DC. I'm going to ask you the same thing we asked Nicholas a few moments ago. How Manchester United? Why Manchester United?
So I actually grew up in Nigeria. I was born and raised in Nigeria, so I've always been a United fan since I was a kid. My cousins, I have a couple cousins that were United fans. So growing up, I used to get a lot of United merch whenever my family went abroad. So I got a couple shirts, jerseys, and comic books. So I used to read kind of some comic books, Dwight York and Giggs and them.
There's a Dwight York comic book. Where? And how do I get one?
Who wrote this? Was it Dwight York? And is he still putting them out there?
That's a very niche...
Andy Cole running the printer.
A niche gap in the market that needed plugging. We need more Dwight York-based comic books.
So United-based comic books, I think, that kind of I got back then that just kind of, I think it was season in review kind of things. I didn't used to watch a lot of games back then, so that was kind of all I had to kind of know a little bit about United, and we got a lot of the United season in review books. So that was kind of my reference to United, and I became a fan from then.
Who's coming in? Who's coming in behind you? Dwight York. Dwight.
He's a buddy of mine who's actually an Arsenal fan. So.
They're coming on later. He can Skype in then. That's amazing. I love that. AJ, let's move on to the game tomorrow. Swansea away. Bob Bradley, their soccer coach now. How are Manchester United going to get on tomorrow?
I don't know. I think here's one of the problems we're currently facing is because we're trying to win all these games that are not necessarily the league game. We play our strongest team every game we go out. I mean, I remember after the City game in the EFL Cup, everyone was talking about a 1-0 win against City. Now, in that particular game, Pep played a very much weaker side than we did. We played our first team, okay? And we won that game 1-0, and I thought that was an issue. We go up to Burnley the next game, and we look completely terrible. I think these players are starting to get more and more fatigued. You need to start playing lesser plays in these lesser competitions. And if you keep playing, Zlatan up front every game, EFL Cup, against Fenerbahce in Europa, you bring it against Swansea, you're not going to get the same performances. Okay, you're starting to pile up injuries to all these players because they never get rest. So now you have Bailey out, you have Smalling out, you have Valencia out. Valencia picked up his injury against, City in the EFL Cup. I don't think he should have been playing in that at all.
It's a very good point. It's almost like Mourinho has tried to play Pogba into form. He's like, you're going to keep on playing until you're good, basically. Seems to be the approach.
Keep playing until you score.
Yeah, exactly. Until you do something worthwhile.
I remember when Newcastle tried that with Alan Smith. Went really well. 0 goals.
Alan Smith, reject.
Yes.
Yeah, United as well. And also tell us a bit about Bob Bradley. What's the kind of feeling towards him over in the States?
I think there's a level of excitement about it. For a while now, United States has been trying to gain some level of reputation in terms of the footballing world. They're easily disrespected. Even I, as a person that grew up watching football outside of America, I look down on American football sometimes, and I get crap for it. Americans feel like I'm not as supportive of the American culture around soccer. So there's kind of this huge support for Bob Bradley to kind of prove that, look, we're not just people that talk about soccer here and there. We actually care about it. Our players can function. You know, when Dempsey came in, was playing for Tottenham, there was that feeling that, you know, we can compete as well. We can do things in this world. We might not be the most influential, but we're also kind of relevant. So I think there's a lot of feeling about hope for Bradley to succeed. Now, I'm not entirely sure that he is, but...
Yeah, I mean, if Swansea get relegated, it's back to square one for American football, isn't it? AJ, we're going to have to let you go, mate. It's been a pleasure talking to you, though, and thank you very much for getting in touch. Go and read your Dwight York comic books you got under the bed.
Send some our way. What are these things?
Send some over. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, AJ. Have a good one. Have a good one.
Bootleg Dwight York comics. Does he know what's going on?
Some second-hand.
He's watching at home going, I didn't release any of this.
Yeah. Am I seeing 10% of this?
Yeah. His royalties out the window.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that was a bit of a rubbish one. Sorry. I can do better than that. There have been lots of goals in the Premier League while we're talking to AJ there. Sunderland, with 10 men, are 2-1 up away at Bournemouth. Boy, did David Moyes need that result. Crystal Palace, 2-2 with Burnley. They've pulled it back. Manchester City still 1-0 up at home in the 81st minute of Middlesbrough, so they really could do with a second one there. And it's just not going for West Ham, is it? They went 1-0 up, and then Stoke City have pegged them back. There's 10 minutes to go. It's 1-1 at the London Stadium at the minute, or whatever it's called nowadays. I don't know. I've given up on that place.
The worst stadium in the Premier League.
It is. Right, we'll keep you across all the scores, and we'll be discussing more football after the break. Stay with us here on Fan TV. Woo! Woo! Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV, and I'm going to launch my first teaser of the afternoon. I've just been told in my ear, apparently there was a sting, there was meant to be something amazing happen there, and it just didn't happen, so no expense spared here on Sky 212. Right, oh, apparently it's ready, here we go. I'm going to launch my first teaser, here we go. Brilliant. I have had a haircut. Yeah. And a shave. Just in case you just tuned on, don't adjust your television. I'm not Kiri Blue. She hasn't really let herself go, by the way. She covered my shows this week. I'm doing this one. That's how it works. So my first teaser of the afternoon is that Romelu Lukaku scored in his 7th consecutive game versus West Ham on Sunday. Only one player has scored in 8 consecutive Premier League games against one club. Who is it? Let us know on Twitter @FanTVUK. So Lukaku scored for the 7th time in a row against West Ham on Sunday. One player has scored 8 in a row against one club. Let us know on Twitter at FanTVUK if you think you know the answer. We don't really know. You reckon maybe Wayne Rooney?
I thought it could be Wayne actually against West Ham. I think he scored quite a few against them.
Sure.
He scored quite a lot against like City and Arsenal. He scored 11.
I think I'll stick with my answer from the break. I'm about 97% certain, probably Titus Bramble.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I can remember him just.
But don't ruin it for the fans. Still get
Yeah,
in
I mean,
touch.
if you are going to say Titus Bramble, that's
Give
my
up.
answer. Give up. I've won.
We talked to AJ before the break. It was very nice, by the way, wasn't he? We liked AJ.
Yeah.
We talked about how rubbish Man United were, but I feel like we could talk about it more. So let's carry on talking about how rubbish Manchester United were.
But there are nice United fans, as proven.
They're
not none in England. Go anywhere else.
None in Manchester.
Yeah. No. You know what? I think the reason most people hate Man United is because
Jealous.
Maybe they're nice now. Maybe apart from this guy here. Maybe they're nice now. But there was probably a 20-year period of continuous, endless gloating from Man United fans. I don't think the club's the major problem.
I think it's
already gone.
I mean, I don't want to sound remotely like I'm defending Manchester United in any way, shape or form, but there is an inevitable... Whoever's the best at the moment is the team that nobody likes, isn't it? That's just sport, life.
To be fair, when Leicester won last year, I was like, well, I like Leicester.
No,
they technically were the best.
But it's kind of because no one knew they'd do it again.
See, I had a thing with Leicester last season which was so controversial, where I wasn't sure if I wanted them to win the league or Tottenham.
I'm so glad they did.
I actually was kind of wanted Arsenal. Hear me out on this, okay? Right. The reason being, as a Liverpool fan, I was going, we've never won the Premier League in my lifetime. And I was sitting there going, oh, come off it. Really? These are the guys that are going to win the league? I was like, come on, not Leicester or Tottenham, not somebody who's not won it before. Yeah, there was an element of that.
Fans love an underdog, even if it's not their underdog.
But it's not just the underdog part.
As long as you're not the team at the expense of the underdog, you're like, yeah, go on.
Yeah, they kind of kick the whole Premier League in the face of like, hey, you don't have to go out. Obviously, United do it all the time, but you go out and spend millions of pounds on players. Leicester just like, what if we just had a good bunch of lads?
It was,
they really wanted it.
Yeah.
Like, what if we did that?
Danny
instead?
Simpson's bang average, but he seems all right.
He is bang average. He was so awful at QPR.
Yeah, he was.
I liked him at Newcastle.
Oh,
Did you?
he's dreadful player.
You're comparing him to other Newcastle players.
Yeah, that was the season we came up from the Championship too.
There you go, Championship. It's Danny Simpson's level.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then,
Premier League winner.
That was the other thing. I mean, talking about players like that, watching them all getting their medals at the end of the season, knowing that Steven Gerrard didn't have one, that hurt as a Liverpool fan. Watching Danny Simpson, Shinji Okazaki get one put around, I was like, come off it. Really? Really? They're handing them out at the moment. Let's dwell on the midweek one a bit more, Fenerbahce, because I don't think we discussed it enough. I feel that we could
want to get out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's draw some blood from that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of one of those fixtures. It is a tough place to go. You're not the first team to go and lose away in Fenerbahce. I think their record was down to 9 in a row or something in Turkey. But it was just one of those where Burnley at home and then Fenerbahce in the week went great. We'll string a couple of wins together and then we're back. I mean,
that was the thinking. Yeah, I don't know. It's with that game. I've kind of adjusted my mindset as a United fan now, especially watching Louis van Gaal. You know, sometimes we churn out like a 1-0 win and be like, okay, that's quite nice. And now watching United, we're more about, I'm actually going to enjoy the match. Well, I enjoy what's going on the pitch. Like, are they going to play some nice football? And against Fenerbahce, there was a bit of that. Like, there's some good interlink stuff, and it just never really accumulated into like getting a ball and that's the back of the net. And you know, and it's so difficult.
Well, I mean, this stat is incredible. You haven't scored a league goal in 5 hours, and you've scored one of your last 91 shots.
Yeah.
I mean,
high shot ratio. I mean, if you saw the game against Burnley, the reality of not scoring in that game was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. They did everything but
hilarious,
stick the ball in the back of the net. I mean, yes, hilarious as well, because Tom
hilarious
Heaton, who we let go, obviously no appearances at United, has gone to Burnley. And
you're probably signing back for 90 million.
I assume so.
That's normally how you roll. We've got an amazing thing here, which is this cheered me up. No, mate. If you're ever feeling sad, just remember there are Man United fans who have to vote for Manchester United's Premier League Goal of the Month award, and they only scored 1 goal in October.
I mean, that chap's got to be delighted, because he's already dusting out the cabinet, like, here we go.
What do you mean I didn't get it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't even think, what was the one goal? What was the last?
We got one against... I can't remember who it was.
I mean, that's how long
and how
ago
it
it
was
is.
in. I mean, it's 5 hours.
The year
I mean,
was
that's I killed them all off my
1932.
phone.
And I was a wee lad.
We have the footage here. It's in black and white, but you can make out the goal scorer.
Here it is, Ryan Giggs. He's down the left, you'll see.
Yeah, it is bizarre that. I mean, one of your last 91 shots. I always like those stats because that means you've scored 2 of your last 92, by the way. That's how those stats always work.
Yeah.
It's a very high shot team. Like, you look at the players who are in that team, they all want to kind of be scoring goals. So you get into a situation where, like, Rooney's desperate for a goal, so he's having a couple of shots. Like, Zlatan or just anywhere on the pitch, he's like, I'll probably put this in. Like, and Pogba's the same. Like, so all these players, the ratio of shots probably actually between those 3 guys. Like, everyone else is getting the normal amount of shots they would normally do, but they shoot all the time. Like, and you know, sometimes it's warranted, maybe it's a good effort, and sometimes it's a bit like, oh, maybe if you push it a little bit more. But they're getting the pressure from everyone to be like, shoot, shoot, shoot all the time.
I saw somewhere as well that apparently Manchester United have faced more shots on goal than any of the other top 6 or something at the moment, which is not something you associate with a Jose Mourinho team. You've kind of in this horrible position where you're not that good defensively and you're not scoring goals either, which isn't a great recipe.
With the mighty Antonio Valencia in the side.
With the best right back in the country.
You know, he's strong. He's kind of got it sorted a little bit with Herrera in the middle, who is just fantastic. Like, Herrera is the player. I can't. Obviously, everyone hates United players, United fans, United as a club. But you cannot hate Herrera. Prime example. And you cannot hate Herrera. He's just like, he's genuinely nice. He tries. Every single game, he's putting everything into it. He is combative. He puts himself about. And I think he'll sort some of that out.
In the Liverpool game, he was absolutely immense.
Yeah.
He covered. He was everywhere. I was watching it from a Liverpool point of view going, and he's just won the ball back over there.
Yeah. And he's this little Spanish guy. And it's like, normally you expect him to be some like dirty Serb, you know, like a Matic. Like, you know, like a little bit grim. Like,
borderline racist, but we'll gloss over.
Like, he had 2 routes in life. What? I'm just saying. Matic had 2 routes in life. One was to prison and one was football. And he's got himself down the football route. So fair play to him. But that's what Herrera's like. He's just like an animal. Like, he's up against people. He's shouting at them. He's in their face. Like, he's shouting at his teammates. Like, people who watch him. Like, he's just so good to watch. Like, as a United fan, especially when you've got these pretty expensive players who do a little bit of walking around. And Herrera's like doggedly fighting to be in that team. Like, I think he will start to sort out a lot of those defensive problems because he's only been in that role maybe 4 or 5 games. Because he had Fellaini there and he was trying that partnership out, and now he's dropped Fellaini, put Herrera in, and he gets Pogba and Mata probably in front of him.
He's one of the few shining lights this season.
He's one of the few players that are like, you know, and
suspended
just genuinely like him.
for the game.
I know, well, crazy suspension as well. He fell over.
Yeah, it was
he fell over and got sent off.
Yeah,
like,
it was actually
you know,
ridiculous.
it's very easy to pick up.
The one time you'll agree with a Man United fan.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think that, but I think it'll be a loss to have him not tomorrow. But he's a very good player.
Yeah. Before I let you go, let's get a couple of predictions. For wider predictions, I've got a feeling I might know the answer to this. Where are Newcastle going to finish this year in the Championship?
It's tough. Top. Yeah.
Top.
Winner. Champions.
Top. Brighton.
Over 100 points.
I'm not nailing them. I'm not nailing them.
You're letting
today.
yourself down.
Next time I'll dive across.
Yeah, next time you can nick it. This is really amusing. So my producer, who I'm doing this thing here in my ear to, she is Alan Pardew's niece. And I can tell you that Burnley have just scored and it's now 3-2 at home against Crystal Palace. Sack Alan, I say. Sack Alan, get rid of him would be my advice on that. 3-2 Crystal Palace. We'll keep you posted if another goal goes in. Sorry, Lauren. Newcastle, you think they're going to finish top?
Top.
And you think they're going to win the League Cup?
They're
Apart from that,
going to win the League
season.
Cup. They're going to have over 100 points, and Dwight Gale will be the top scorer in the Championship. It's a good year.
Right,
next year, very disappointing.
I'm going to get you back on in May, and we're going to go through those. We're going to play that.
And I'll be here with the replica League Cup, just like just for an hour. Just doing that for an hour.
It's actually better TV than we normally put out.
Oh, that's fair enough then. All right, quality content. I'll lock that in my diary.
Make a note. Manchester United. What's a good season?
What's a good season?
10th?
No, I think United. I think United will come third. They've got a really big squad, so I think when everyone starts, Arsenal will take up their obliquatory spot in fourth. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So they're going to have fourth. Fair enough. Keep it. You know, it's yours. You've looked after it for a long time. You know, good luck to you. I do think City will finish top. I think, despite a little bit of a road bump, they'll be there. And then second is kind of anyone's game, really. I mean, I don't think Chelsea will do it because I don't like Conte. I think it could be like Liverpool, sadly, really sadly, because they're so like, I mean, you can't like Liverpool, but you know, they're actually entertaining to watch. They score loads of goals, so I think they could get up there, even though the defence is so leaky. If they keep all of those, that front 4 or 5 they got, they've got such good players there, so they could score against anyone.
Yeah.
And I think United will slot into a third spot. They'll do a lot of 1-0s. It won't be nice. No one's going to enjoy it. But you know what? We'll move on to next season.
And on a side note, he's making a lot of friends here with the
Yeah.
audience. Every time he said something, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting out fires. It's fun.
Are you gonna wave at Sunderland on the way past them? Do you think this season?
Definitely. So Sunderland are going to be... No, they're not going to be bottom. I want them to be bottom, obviously. But they're going to do what they always do. Oh, Sunderland definitely down. Oh, they've won. Oh, they've won. They've won. They've won. Oh, they've avoided relegation by 2 points.
Yeah.
And Defoe will be the hero.
And Defoe will score a
Defoe,
hat-trick
the man, the
on
myth,
last
the
season.
legend.
He is.
It's going to annoy me so much because every season they're awful, and then they just decide, last 10 games we should probably play football now, and they escape, and they are such a championship side.
It's a tactic. It works for them.
It works
no one
for them,
expects
unfortunately,
it.
but
Last 10 they go in.
That's what it'll happen again. It happens every year. It's going to happen again.
Yeah,
Sunderland are going to stay up, and I'm going to be really.
It's like the
annoyed
opposite
by
to
it.
Arsenal. They really well all season. Last couple of months, like, actually, lads, come on.
Yeah, go.
Tenerife school.
It's like
Oh, knees feeling bad.
basically, what Sunderland are going to do, they're basically going to space jam the talent of Arsenal. So they'll get all the power out of the basketball and then start playing like Arsenal players, and Arsenal will play like Sunderland, unfortunately, and it'll like...
And that's how it happens.
And that's
That's
how
how they're
Arsenal finish
writing the
fourth.
Jamie Vardy film, I think.
Yeah.
Similar.
It's not what I want to happen, but Sunderland are going to space jam it.
So
basically.
put it this way as well: are Middlesbrough going to be the top northeast side this year?
Yes, they are. And no, to be fair,
And people who care about that,
I can
no
tell you
one
by the
is.
way
to be fair,
that Middlesbrough have equalised away, which is a very, very popular goal. Very, very popular goal.
I don't know why.
to be fair, I shouldn't do, but I have a bit of a soft spot for Middlesbrough because
Oh, don't say that.
my friend is the daughter of the chairman of Middlesbrough, so I kind of had to be like, go on then. Steve Gibson,
All right.
his daughter.
Name dropping.
Exactly.
But as a result, I'm like, when Middlesbrough are doing well,
Play for Celeb FC, we're getting on a bit.
when Middlesbrough are
We've
doing
got to take a
well,
break. We've got to take a break.
Okay.
Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll get you both back on later in the season. And good luck with your respective seasons as well. But thank you for joining us on the Lime Green
Cheers.
Sofa. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you in just a sec. Stay with us. Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. I can tell you the Premier League game 3 o'clock kickoffs have finished. Run through the scores here. Sunderland down to 10 men, won 2-1 away at Bournemouth, which is a massive result for David Moyes. Well done, yeah, well done. That's the most patronising applause that any football team's ever been given. It's been a day for late goals as well. I can tell you that Crystal Palace conceded in the 94th minute and lost 3-2 to Burnley. And Middlesbrough equalised away at City in the 91st minute. I thought that one might be popular, and West Ham Stoke was 1-1. 1-1 at West Ham. Bit of a nothing result that. But yes, so West Ham still not winning at home. No doubt they'll all be beating each other up on the way home. Right, let's get some more fans here on the lime green sofas. Don't worry, they're not watching. They're at the game. It's fine. They won't hurt me. Right, let's get some fans. We've got Derry, Marlon, and Gareth coming on. Liverpool and Watford fans. Come on, here we go. Good to see you, mate. How you doing, all right? How you doing, chaps? How we doing? There we are. Good to see you, mate. Take a seat. It's going to get a bit cosy.
We're attacking from both sides.
Well, if you I was about to make the most inappropriate joke of all time, which write your own jokes at home. Well, I don't think you guys don't know each other, but you're going to get along famously over the next hour, or maybe not.
We'll be all right.
The game's tomorrow, so you can fall out after game tomorrow. I want to open up, guys. Derry and Marlon with Celeb FC. I want to talk about that first and foremost. So talk us through. Tell us what it is.
Well, basically, it's a bunch of people that has been on various programs, and we just got a wonderful woman that organises for us to go to small charities. And I mean, in the last 3 years, we've raised over £100,000 for small local charities. So definitely, that is the main thing. I mean, we've got a few things next season. A lot of games. Blue Cross. By the top of my head, I mean, so much things going on. It's literally just a whirlwind. I mean, thanks again to Karen. She's just godsend, and just again.
I like the sound of her.
Yeah, no, she is, man. She gets us a few of the lads that's been on TV, and some guys that haven't been and want to be in amongst the crowd, and you know, get us doing things that giving back and whatnot, and it's our own free time. Like, we're not asking for anything from it. It's just strictly just look after what we need to do, man.
Yeah,
so, definitely,
perfect. Man. So one of you was in Big Brother, one of you was on X Factor. Which is which?
Yes. Have a guess. Who looks like the singer?
You were on X Factor. You were in Big Brother. Right, I got you.
I've done nothing.
What were you on, Gareth?
Nothing.
Fan TV. There we go. I want to talk to you about that as well. So, how far did you get?
To the finals.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who won that year?
Little Mix.
Little Mix, yeah, they're doing all right.
Okay,
I probably would have voted for them too.
There you go. Yeah, I was in a boy band at the time. I started off as a solo artist.
Did they do the thing where they put you all together?
Yeah. We got put together twice actually.
Oh really?
Once at boot camp and then a second time at judges' houses.
Which judge did you have?
Talisa.
Yeah. I thought I recognised you from that video.
Yeah.
Sorry, Talisa.
I'll give you that one.
I apologise.
That was spot on, that.
And so, where was her house?
Greece.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
very
nice.
nice.
It was dope, man.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And Big Brother?
Yeah, Big Brother, 2014, 15. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life, man.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people think, how can you manage it? I'm like, well, at the time I was only 21, going on 22, and when you're young, still young now, I'm 24, but when you're young and you're a little whippersnapper, you want to just do everything. You want to do everything, you want to try everything, you're fearless. So yeah, I went in there, did all right, did 7 weeks. I mean, it showed me a lot of what media is and all behind the scenes, and a lot of work that goes into just getting a production just set. You got all the runners and back staff and whatnot. So yeah, man, one of the best things I've ever done, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done on Celeb FC.
Yeah, definitely, Celeb FC, definitely.
Yeah. Just a quick one. We have got the results in from the first poll of the evening. Thank you for getting in touch at Fan TV UK. We can see the results now.
Got Sissoko in it.
Who is the worst signing off the back of one major tournament? Musa Sissoko is the overwhelming winner, followed by El Hadj Diouf, 39% for Sissoko. And then Cleverson, and then other. I don't know what the comments that came in, but thank you very much for voting in that. £30 million is ridiculous, isn't it? Almost.
Mate, do you know what? Now looking at it, yeah. But as a Liverpool fan, and as a Liverpool fan as well, we wanted him.
Yeah.
Like I was bittersweet when we got Wijnaldum and Tottenham got Sissoko because I wanted it. But looking at it now, Klopp's the man.
Did you get your brain warped by the Euros as well, though? Because he was rubbish for Newcastle.
No, do you know what?
Especially the fact that we signed a £30 million player. That's.
I think I thought he would have worked well with Wijnaldum. And the fact that he's powerful and he's quick, coming from the
Deep
holding
role,
midfield role and pushing through, a bit like Emre Can, but I think it would have been better than Emre Can.
No, Emre Can's amazing. I love Emre Can.
Emre Can, he's a headache because he does this thing where when he gets the ball, he has to show everyone his strength first. So you get the ball, and you hold someone off, and he'll try to do a Cruyff like Lallana, but he just hasn't got it. And then you'll lose it, and you'll pass it, but it'll all be just a bit of before he gets rid of it. So it's like,
it's just like the players there, just give it to him, but he'd wait for someone to get close to him before he
gives it. He doesn't move on the play at all.
And that's just, it's just so.
I love a bit of Emre Can, but you are spot on about that as well. I'm going to launch poll 2 of the evening as well. God, I'm going to get so much trouble after this show. Now this is the poll as well. After the news came out that Sunita will get a delicate operation live on air, which of these would you most like to be televised? Is it Jose Mourinho getting sacked? Is it a night out with Carroll and Randolph from West Ham? Is it Jack Wilshere paddleboarding or other? You can leave a comment below. I would love to them to live stream Jose Mourinho getting fired from Manchester United.
Oh, hands down. Easy.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
I'd love to see his face
after the beating we put on him a few weeks ago.
Do you know what's funny with that situation? Because I've got a lot of Man United friends and friends and whatnot. They sacrificed. They went into the season saying, do you know what? We're gonna buy what we need to buy. So basically, we're going to sacrifice football. Forget football, because we're not going to have football by signing Jose Mourinho. We're going to sacrifice the football, and we're going to just buy the players. And none of it's worked, because they haven't got no style of football. They haven't got no identity how they play, and the players are not performing. So now they're left in, what do you do? I mean, I love it. I love it.
We have a Skype caller, by the way, who's going to join us now. He's going to be metaphorically on the lime green sofas with us. Are you there? Hello. Who do you support?
How are you doing?
I'm just kidding. You're an Arsenal fan. We're going to get a couple of Arsenal fans on later as well, but obviously a massive, massive game for you tomorrow. Is this the first fixture you look out for when you get the fixture list at the beginning of the season?
It is always one that we look for. It's a little bit weird being an Arsenal fan in America, the whole Spurs rivalry. It's kind of, it's not naturally something that's evolved. We're not living in the same neighborhood kind of thing, but it's something that we sort of take on because we do. I have a supporters group for Arsenal in Milwaukee. There's also a Spurs supporters group in Milwaukee, so we still actually hate each other for, the same reasons I guess we hate each other everywhere else, but it is a big...
You don't really think about that, because obviously they have no reason to dislike Spurs from a geographical point of view if you're in Milwaukee. Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
But you kind of
just... It's not geographical, more philosophical. I don't know. It's one of those things, like, you love a team no matter what the team is. Oh, we hate this team? Okay. We hate that team. The whole rivalry, the St. Totteringham's Day, the lasagna, all that stuff just makes it even more exciting. So.
Exactly. Well, you want to immerse yourself in that side of it as well. You want to immerse yourself in the culture of the club as well. Going very well for Arsenal at the minute, isn't it? Going very, very well.
Yeah, it is going very well, especially with Borough taking City down a few points today. So we're looking definitely tomorrow to get 3 points. Liverpool breathing down our neck, unfortunately. But I don't want to start.
And Watford, as well.
I'd be completely off that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, maybe not so much Watford, but I mean, right now it's I don't want to jinx it. November's traditionally been a pretty horrible month for Arsenal, but going forward right now, I feel that's what Arsenal always does. It makes me feel hope. And I'm just hoping right now this season's going to be the one that they don't destroy my hopes. So.
I mean, it's a strange, wasn't it? Because we've been here before with Arsenal. At this point, we all sat here in November and said Arsenal look good this year. Yeah. Does it feel different? I feel they look slightly better, or is it just because we're in the moment and this time last year that they look just as good?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't. I think there's something different this year, and I know again it's my bizarre hope for this team. I probably say this every year, but. I feel like there is something different this year. I feel like we've got a lot of depth this year that even with the injuries that we have right now, that we can still field a very strong side. even in Champions League this past Tuesday, had a few substitutions, a little bit of a shaky start, but in the end we came back strong and did what we had to do. So I'm hoping tomorrow. I know like anytime you have a derby, that form goes out the window, but we're on a lot better form, I think, right now. Spurs are, they're still invincible and yet somehow in 5th place. So I'm hoping.
I like that. That's very good. Yeah, I thought you would agree. I've only got a minute to go into the break, but quickly, how good was that Mesut Ozil goal in the week?
Oh, how good was that? That's I don't know. I'd throw out the word Messi-esque.
Yes,
I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I understand that the naysayers will say, "Oh, it's only Ludo Goretz, blah, blah blah, whatever." But I don't care. That was a goal of the season for me. I'm looking forward to him stepping up more. He's for some reason, he's scoring more this year than he did last year. The 20 assists or whatever it was last season. Not so many this season, but he is a goal-scoring machine so far. So either one, I don't care as long as he keeps on form.
Yeah, Jamie Carragher made a very insightful point in the week where he said Mesut Ozil needs to keep scoring goals. Well, cheers, Jamie. Thanks for that.
That's where they pay him the big bucks, yes.
Quick one, we're literally going into break, so just a prediction, what's the score going to be tomorrow?
My God, I don't know. It's always so tight. I'm going to say maybe 2-1.
2-1 Arsenal. And where are you going to finish in the league this season?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to say that. Last season was 2nd. The season before that was 3rd. The season before that was 4th. I think
10 seconds to the
draw
break.
one logical conclusion.
Okay. I like it. Thank you very much for Skyping in, mate. We're going to take a break. Thank you. Yeah. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. Just a quick one as well, keep your tweets coming in. Thank you everyone that sent one in already at Fan TV UK. As it was the Mobos this week, we want you to tweet in your suggestions of what song is appropriate to describe your club. Let us know on Twitter at FanTVUK. We'll come to Liverpool Watford in a moment. We've got you guys for another 45 minutes, but we have Ollie the Bournemouth fan on Skype, who's probably in a bad mood at the minute. Ollie the...
You're being unfair. What's going on? You've got Liverpool, you've got Bournemouth.
And I'm just bullying them here as well. Ollie, how are we?
Hello.
Quickly, I'm reliably informed. Are you ready for this? That you were on the show a week ago before the Sunderland game, which, by the way, if you just tune in, Bournemouth lost 2-1 at home to a 10-man Sunderland. And you said that you would dye your hair red and white, the Sunderland colours, if you lost, and that you would never be on this show again.
Yeah.
He's looking a bit shifty now, isn't he?
It looks like you're in a hairdresser's. Is that what you're going to do for us live on TV? Is that what it is?
Maybe not live on TV, but I think I may have got a bit too ahead of myself.
Maybe just a
and
tad.
I'm just looking down. We've just lost them. We've just lost them. Honestly, there's a bloke down there, right, who's got his luggage that he's trying to put into the team coach, and it's took them 5 minutes just to put it onto the... Honestly, it sums them up. They were useless. They couldn't do anything, and they've beaten us. Can't believe it.
Where are you Skyping us from at the moment?
I'm actually just up in the Legends bar. You can see the team coach behind me.
It's busy tonight, clearly.
Yeah, it's not too busy.
What Legends? What Legends?
Ollie, quickly talk us through the game, mate. What happened? What went wrong? You mustn't think when Sunderland went down to 10 men, you're laughing.
What went wrong? Right, well... I don't know how long I got here. I mean,
not that long. So if you could condense it for us, Ollie.
We can go through everything if you want. But to sum it up, I don't really know how to put it. We had 70% possession. We were all over them. They had a penalty. They scored the penalty. They won the game. I can't really sum it up more than that.
You did it well. I asked you to condense, and you maybe find a happy medium next time. Ollie, mate, what does it mean for your season? What's the expectations for Bournemouth?
After that, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not sure where we're on the league now, but to be honest, our expectation was to stay up. After that, I don't know what our expectation is, because we played the better football and lost the game, and yet they were... Honestly, their fans at the end of the game there, you'd think they won the Champions League. Honestly, it was unbelievable. I've got it on my phone. I was recording their fans. They were going mental. But for us, it was weird, because at 2-0... at 1-0 up, we were thinking, this could be a hole, and then they get the equaliser. We had a period where we kind of just sat off the ball a bit. They got the goal, and then it was kind of like, no, we come on, this is Sunderland. Come on, this is Sunderland we're playing here. And then all of our fans were like, no, this is going to be 2 points dropped. It's fine. So we went into the second half thinking, it'll take us a couple minutes to get into it. It took us 12 minutes to get into it. We didn't touch the ball for those 12 minutes. And then after that, they didn't touch the ball for the rest of the game. Apart from when they scored, were they in a half? I don't think they were in a half at all. So it was disappointing, but it's just, I'm not really sure what to say after that, to be honest. It's just, I'm fuming.
Ollie, mate, we're going to let you go. You have a sit down, mate. You have a sit down. You rest yourself, mate.
You'll have yourself a beer.
I will. I'm going home.
Yeah, go to the bar. Yeah. Cheers, Ollie, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you. Good to hear from you. Look forward to that haircut. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. I mean, that's probably the result of the day, isn't it? Sunderland. That's a huge result with 10 men.
They are struggling. They are struggling.
Do you know who got the goal?
I can use my trusty app. Here we go.
Surprised if it's the foul.
Penalty, definitely.
Jermaine Defoe scored the penalty. Tell you what, I'll give you all. Do you know who scored the first one?
Bullshit.
Victor Anichebe.
Wow, he
thought he was dead.
Striker from West Brom.
Wow. Yeah. Apparently.
Where's he been?
Where has he been?
You can say the same thing for Woolshed.
Last time I saw him, his face was on a carton of milk. I've no idea where he's been. Let's talk about the teams on the sofa here. Liverpool, Watford. We'll have people Skyping in throughout. Let's talk about the game. I'm going straight up to Liverpool actually after this game to go to the game tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to for the new main stand as well. I said to you guys in the green room and before and in the break and stuff, I said, I've got a sneaky feeling this is where Liverpool drop points.
Yes.
The more people build you up for a win, the more you expect to lose. You don't seem so confident.
People said that about Man United when we went at home to Man United. People saying, "Oh yeah, how many Man United going to get? We've got Pogba, we've got Ibrahimovic, we've got Mourinho as a manager and all that." And then what happened?
You really smashed them.
We smashed them. Probably Watford's best performance of the last 10 years.
Really?
Maybe, possibly the Liverpool 3-0 last year. Maybe just eclipses that just a little bit. But that performance, easily. Superb performance. But then we went to Burnley the game after, away from home, thinking, yeah, we got this. Yeah, Burnley, they just come up, we're going to beat them. And we played...
Lost 2-0, yeah.
Pardon my French, crap. We played awful.
Yeah.
We just didn't turn up whatsoever. And from then on, it's been a little bit of a struggle, a little bit on and off. Probably lucky to get a point against Bournemouth. Went to then we went to Middlesbrough. Got the result at Middlesbrough, which is a really tough place to go to. At the best of times.
Just drawn with cities.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hollybass was an unbelievable goal, superb goal. And
what was an awful game of football.
It was terrible. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and dress it up. It was awful. And we just ground out a result against Hull City. I think we're probably the only Premier League team to have no shots on target whatsoever and still won the game. I think it hadn't been for Michael Dawson's own goal, I think we probably would have been a 0-0. I think we probably did enough in the first half maybe to put the game to bed, but it's just that. I don't know what's happened to Igalo. With Success being injured, I don't think Igalo would have seen the field.
He's your danger man, though, man. Him and Troy Deeney
I don't know.
They do like to score against
He needs a confidence boost. I mean, losing his father last year at the back end of last season is obviously it's affected him. It's going to affect anyone.
Of course.
Every team seems to want to turn up against Liverpool
all the time.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be up. I mean, Deeney will be up for this one. He's up for every single game.
He described the game. He described the game last year and said that they battered Liverpool last year, and he described it as it's going to be war tomorrow.
I think it was Klopp's first game.
It shows that everyone wants to beat Liverpool because clearly we're the biggest team in the UK, in the world for me. So
let's not he's taking an arrogant sip from his mug as well.
Clearly we're the biggest team, and I mean, like everyone likes that. With Klopp's philosophy, is a thing where he's breathing new energy into the team. It's a new way of football, and I think the way how we play and how we're set up, it's always going to be an exciting game. I mean, I was at the Palace Liverpool game last week, and I mean, what a game! Like, what a game!
I was listening on the radio on the way back from Watford.
What a game! And I mean, how we play is how we're going to expect to be played against, in the sense of we're playing so open, so we're going to get shots on our goal. We're going to probably concede, but we're going to score more. And I mean, the game tomorrow for me is going to be
should be a good one. We'll come back to Liverpool Watford. We have another Skype caller. We're not being very nice to our Skype caller because he's a Crystal Palace fan. So Kev, Skype in, mate. Where are you, Kev? Cape Town Kev, we call him. Hello, mate. How are we? I'll do the Davina thing. We're live on Sky 2 on 2. Please do not swear.
Where is he, in a prison?
Where are you? You've got a very nice chin and all, Kev. It'd be nice to see the rest of your face. Well, you're normally sat in front of your bar, mate. Where are you?
Showing us his guy.
I'm actually in my living room this evening. I'm not in the bar.
Oh, yeah? Well, I think you need to head to the bar after today's result, don't you, mate? Pour yourself a stiff drink.
Unbelievable. I cannot believe that. It's unbelievable.
I mean...
2-0 down, get it back to 2-2. We're sitting there. Looks like we're going to score the winner at any time. They go up the other end and score the winner. Can you believe it?
I mean, it was a real... I mean, if you could ever have a microcosm of what it's like to be a Crystal Palace fan, was it those 90 minutes there, Kev?
That is...
She's gutted as well.
That is the absolute roller coaster.
I mean, when Benteke scored the penalty in the 81st minute, you must have been. I'd love to see what a Cape Town Kev reaction looks like. You must have been running around. You must have been buzzing.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you, I was indoors on my own because everyone else was out. My wife was out with my son and what have you, and they were all out. And I was just, I certainly believed it was going to be 3-2. 3-2. It had written 3-2 all over it.
Well, you were spot on.
It was 3-2.
It's just not going for Palace.
But the wrong way.
It's just not going for Crystal Palace at the moment, isn't it? It has been kind of a theme since Pardew's come in there that you seem to go on winning streaks and losing streaks, isn't it? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any sort of consistency other than you're consistently inconsistent.
Well, I think you've only got to look at Pardew's managerial career. That speaks for itself. This is what he does. It's up and down. That's why I said this to someone the other day. Crystal Palace, we've always known, as Crystal Palace fans, we've always been prepared to ride the roller coaster. And now we've got the perfect man to drive the roller coaster and be the captain of the roller coaster. So, but I must admit, my patience is wearing very, very thin. I've been a great advocate of Pardew, but it's wearing very thin now. And the fact that Frank de Boer is now available, who knows?
Yeah. Would you say what's the general consensus you feel between Palace fans at the moment? I guess today's result will have a bearing as well.
Nobody's happy at the moment.
No.
Everybody, from what I've been reading on Twitter earlier on, obviously I've got a lot of fans that I follow on Twitter and what have you, And the things I'm seeing at the moment is just, everyone's got the raving up with him, really. That's all I can say about it, without being, without taking you guys off air for the amount of expletives that I'm about to use. Everyone's got the raving up with Pardew. It's just these tactics, they don't seem to be working, And as I say, I've been a lover of him, always loved him, thought it was great that, he was in charge, an ex-player, a local boy and all the rest of it, but it's really wearing thin now, really wearing thin.
What's the target for Crystal Palace this season? Where are you going to finish?
Stay up at the minute.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, Kev.
Stay up.
Is that? Do you genuinely think
and beat Liverpool at Anfield?
Oh
yeah, as if.
As if. They do have previous for that kind of event. We've got some Liverpool fans on the show. We've only got a minute to go to the break, Kev. But what did you make of the Palace-Liverpool game the other day?
It was a great game. I thought the first 45 minutes was absolutely fantastic. What a great half. And then we took our finger off it, didn't we? So, and you are, I tell you what, Toby. As much as it hurts me to say this, my best mate in England is Liverpool. He's an actual Scouser, but you've got a good side. You need to shore up the defence a little bit, but you've got a really, really good side. I actually tweeted that day, I think we've got beaten by the next champions. So I'll say no more.
Well, Kev, I'm not going to argue, mate. There's a break, Kev. Always good to hear from you. I hope the next time I see you, you're in a slightly better mood. But thank you very much for getting in touch, Kev, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Nice one, Toby. Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
I think Pardew did describe Liverpool as the best team that they face as well this season. We are going to take a quick break, but thank you everyone who's been tweeting at FanTV UK. We are live and we'll be back in a couple of moments, so stay with us. Cheers. Hello, welcome back to Fan TV. The Chelsea-Everton game is about to get underway any second now, and I've got the lineups for you here. Courtois in goal, back three. They're kind of doing it at the minute, aren't they? Of Gary Cahill, David Luiz, and Azpilicueta. Conte is in front of them. So is Matic, and on the either side of them, they've got Victor Moses and Alonso. And then Pedro, who's having a bit of a renaissance at the moment at Chelsea, with Eden Hazard and Diego Costa, who is on fire at the moment for them as well. And the Everton team, Stecklenburg, so there'll be a few goals. Jagielka, Williams, Seamus Coleman, Oviedo, Funes Mori. So it seems to be that they're playing They're playing a few centre-backs as well today as well. Ashley Williams is there, sorry. Tom Cleverley, Yannick Bolasie, Ross Barkley, Gareth Barry and Romelu Lukaku.
Stecklenburg looks very small in that picture.
Lukaku's very tall though.
I was going to say, I thought it was Tom Cleverley that scored more goals than, on the same.
Oh really?
As
Surely not 8.
Because he's played 3 different teams. Man United, I think it was
Aston
Wigan.
Villa and Everton.
And
Wigan.
And Wigan.
So you think he might have scored 8 goals across?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to my own teaser that I put out. That's how in control of the
Luis
show.
Suarez against Norwich, wasn't it?
I
surely?
thought Luis Suarez against Norwich, but then
No, but it's got to be against West Ham.
No, against the same team.
Yeah, he scored 4 twice, isn't it?
No, but I think it's 8 consecutive games.
8 consecutive games.
If you just joined, if you wonder what you've just joined us by the way. It's the teaser for today. Tweet us at FanTV UK because Lukaku scored against West Ham for the 7th game in a row against them. So we asked you which player has scored against the same team 8 games in a row. So yeah, you are right. Suarez has scored 11 in 3 or something. But
what about Frank Lampard? Ain't he done it against Bolton? Because he does like to score against Bolton when he was at Chelsea, didn't he?
I don't know. I mean,
I was thinking Michael Owen against Newcastle because he used to score a hatful of goals against Newcastle.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. We'll reveal the answer a bit later on when I know the answer myself as well. Let's talk about Watford. We had a bit of a chinwag about. We've got plenty of time to talk about Liverpool and Watford. Going very, very well. You're
Great
7th
start.
at the moment.
Great start. Great
I
start.
love that thing at the moment of what the Manchester United and their fans have in common. They're all below Watford, which I think is a great.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is a great one. There seems to be almost like a change mid-season. I mean, the start of the season, you were playing these very exciting, almost Liverpool-esque games, and then it's almost that Mazzari's now put his stamp on it and put the Italian in them, and then now lots of clean sheets. 4 clean sheets in a row, I think.
15 points from 10 games. We couldn't have asked for a better start. Unbelievable. If you say at the start, we had probably the toughest start out of any team in the Premier League this season. We had Arsenal, Chelsea at home, consecutive games. Manchester United, probably I would have thought maybe a little bit unlucky to lose to Chelsea in that first game. But 15 points from 10 games, plus 1 goal difference. Couldn't have asked for a better start. Liverpool away tomorrow.
How do you actually feel? Like knowing Mane, Coutinho, for me.
I mean, Prödel's a doubt. Prödel's a doubt. He's injured.
Yeah.
He's had probably Sebastian Prödel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's. I mean,
he's been brilliant for you guys.
He's a solid centre back. He's a solid centre back. I mean, with him out to contain Coutinho and Firmino and all them guys and Sturridge if he plays, it's going to be a tough task. I'm not gonna lie. I would take a point. No. But I think, I don't know, it's a tough one. I mean, it's a potential banana skin as far as Liverpool's concerned. They're thinking, Watford, they're well over them after the way we've beaten all these other teams, but...
Not this season.
I don't
Klopp's not this season.
But your defence is a little bit...
It is a bit leaky, but Klopp is not going to let Liverpool get too ahead of themselves. He's not going to do it. He can see he's the type of manager to say, look, we need to get the result. Forget who you are or what Liverpool is about. We need to win. And I mean, I think the turning point for us was when we beat Swansea away from home and we come back from
1-0 down at half time.
Yeah.
And honestly, that for me, switch. And again, when we drew against Man United fans were happy with the point. Liverpool was upset with the point. So it shows that there's a tipping point now.
There's a standard.
Thank you for that. Just in case nobody knew what a tipping point was.
Yeah,
it was there.
Tipping point now. Klopp's onto something good, man. Klopp's onto something. I think we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to definitely turn out. We're going to definitely approach the game like we should do. We're not going to take Watford simple because they have beaten us before. They have got good results against us. So it's going to be a good game. I can definitely see that.
It's an interesting one. I mean, you touched on it yourself as well about Liverpool's defence does look a bit porous this season. It lets in a few goals, but almost to a man, they haven't had bad seasons. Klein's been Klein. He's very dependable. Milner's been a mental left back. Joel Matip's been a revelation. Lovren has been a bit iffy. The keeper's been a bit. But is it a Liverpool fan just going to have to accept that you're going to concede goals because of how attacking?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way we play now this season anyway. And to play like that, you're going to concede goals. I don't think there's a way to play like that and defend every game and keep a clean sheet every game. I don't think that can happen. And especially when we've got like history for bad defensive play. I think it's like a jinx.
It's a mental.
We need to get over
some of the
that.
goals you've conceded are really fundamental stuff.
We need to get over that mindset that we might concede, but we're going to win anyway. We need to try and play the way we play and shut up the game.
Does the current Liverpool team remind you and reek of the team that came second behind Man City a couple of years ago?
No. But I'm going to tell you the reason why.
I'm ready.
That team that we had one player, which was Suarez.
Yes.
Right. The team that we got now.
But Sterling, Sturridge,
Coutinho,
Gerrard.
For me, they just chipped in.
I think if he wasn't there, if Suarez wasn't there, their mindset wouldn't have been.
No, they wouldn't have been where they were.
Following season. We saw it the following season. We went, but yeah, we got Coutinho, Firmino, Mane, Adam Lallana. At any point, we can take one of them out and we'll still get a result for me, or we'll still score goals. Our thing when we had Suarez was everything was through Suarez. We made him feel too important to an extent where when he wasn't there, we had to depend on Suarez. So I think that's a total different thing.
If you could say that our team is like when Suarez was there, I'd say our Suarez is Klopp, and he's made them believe that they can play.
That's the most important thing. You've got that.
All of them are scoring. Yeah. Just like that season where every player was scoring. Well, the front four or three was scoring with Suarez, and now Lallana's scoring, Coutinho scoring, Firmino scoring, Mane scoring. Even our defenders.
This team maybe is a bit more the sum of all its parts.
More balanced, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Klopp for me, watching from as a Watford fan sort of looking in, I think he's probably one of the best managers to come into the Premier League in recent years. He's turned that club around massively. I wish we'd got him. But, one yellow team for another and all that. But he's something else. I mean, it's the character of him as well. He's a good character, and that's what you need to have. I
was saying this to a friend the other day that there was a bit of a cloud over Liverpool for a few years. You had
they were up and down. They were like so close, and then
exactly. They were a laughing stock at times. You had the Gillette and Hicks. You had Roy Hodgson. You had the racism with Suarez and Everett fiasco. You had Kenny Dalglish didn't warm to the media at all when that was all going on. Brendan Rodgers was by the end of a bit of a laughing stock as well in many people's
You're welcome
eyes.
to him, mate.
But Klopp's almost distracted from all of that, and everything's on Klopp now, which is brilliant for the players. They can just go out and perform.
I mean, I think we kind of done it to ourselves again. I mean, with Liverpool, it showed the same season where we tried to sign Gareth Barry for Alonso. Like, I don't know. And then Alonso had the season of his life.
I can't understand the logic of that.
Then we got rid of...
Still getting in the Bayern Munich team every week.
and he wanted to come back on a free, but that's another story. But yeah, and we had bad Benitez that should have never left. And I mean, between Benitez leaving and now, we've had Mickey Mouse managers trying to manage a great club. And I think it's only now we've literally found a manager that's, for me, probably going to be there for the next 10 years.
It matches the prestige, the history and the tradition of that club.
Exactly. It's a family. You can see when we score a goal, he's celebrating. Well, at the end of the game, he's hugging every single player. Everyone's feeling as if they've got their arm around. He's got the arm around them. So it's like, it's a good feel at Liverpool. You walk around the Liverpool, it's a good feel. Whereas before it was, might win today, we might not. But again, we're living off Liverpool. It's only Liverpool.
You are correct in terms of, I think they sacked Rafa when Liverpool came fifth, and then the years after that, you would have ripped your hand off. It was a bit. Look at him at Newcastle now. We talked about him earlier.
He's a brilliant manager.
With the game Would You Rather. You ever played that game? Would You Rather? We get two options. So we were discussing this before the show started. The Fan TV guys, we were discussing. Okay, would you rather lose Coutinho or Klopp? If one of them has to go, Coutinho. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. I think I'd say that without blinking.
Without even thinking.
Easily.
Yeah,
because,
easily.
Coutinho, I don't think there's been a time where we've sat back and thought, is Klopp really our manager, like the manager for Liverpool? You thought that about Coutinho. Is he like the player for us? Can he fit into Klopp's system? He has. But there was a question because he was inconsistent. And it happens, people can be inconsistent in whatever they do. Right now, he's been consistent and we love it. But if you take him out, I still don't think it's a big problem.
I think there's no player bigger than the club.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I mean,
no player or person coming into that club would be bigger than him.
And I mean, the closest player I could say, not bigger than the club, but held the responsibility on the club, for the club, and drove them to all these achievements that we had was Stevie G. Yeah. And he had to go. So and he had his time. So for me, there's no player bigger than the club. So Coutinho, Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he can influence the play when we're down and out. I mean, great goal against Arsenal, first game of the season, a minute before half time. That changed the game for us. We went on to win 4-3. 4-3.
Yeah.
But no player bigger than the club. So if Coutinho had to go, and there's talks about him going to Barcelona, feel free, because at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of it.
Watching, don't say that.
No, because
I'd rather him go to Barcelona than Man United.
Yeah, man.
Or anyone in the league.
Can you imagine if he went to Man United?
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
He'd probably turn up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with Coutinho, right now he isn't, but before it was a bit of a hit and miss. He can turn up and then he can just be quiet, especially on the big games.
Getting older. He's
like
yeah,
Igalo is now. I mean, Igalo right now is cold. You know, he really needs a goal to boost his confidence. But 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago, this time last year, he was super.
I do like Igalo. I'm a good fan.
I still think Igalo is what he was. But it's just confidence. You start a season, it's still early in the season. I still think he can
of course he
do
can
what
find
he was been doing.
It's the two ends of the pitch, aren't they? Goalkeepers and strikers are such confident positions. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll carry on talking about Liverpool Watford as well. And also, thanks for your tweets coming in at FanTV UK. We asked you earlier, as it was the Mobos this week, we want you to tweet in your suggestion of a song to describe your football team. So send those in at FanTV UK. Also, we've been launching poll 2 on Twitter, and I think some people have commented underneath. Now. There we go. He's not happy. So we asked you what you'd like to see televised, and lots of people want to see Mourinho getting sacked televised live on TV. You having a laugh about Mourinho. He needs a night out with Andy Carroll
that should be interesting. Sure.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Strap a GoPro on Andy Carroll and Darren Randolph and watch that night out. We're going to take a quick break. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and channel Sky 212 as well. And we'll keep looking forward to Liverpool Watford, the big game happening at Anfield tomorrow in just a few moments' time. So don't go anywhere. Cheers, chaps. Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. I can tell you that Chelsea-Everton is still 0-0, 13 minutes over at Stamford Bridge at the moment. Liverpool-Watford tomorrow. We've got Liverpool and Watford fans here on the lime green sofa. We were talking before the break about how important Klopp is now to Liverpool and the future of Liverpool. How important is that man Troy Deeney to the fabric of Watford Football Club at the moment?
If you can envisage Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse is Walt Disney, isn't it? Disney, but Troy Deeney is Watford. We signed him from Walsall, next to nothing. and he's been there when the club has literally been 24 hours away from going extinct with the owners and stuff like that. But that guy is probably the closest thing that we could probably associate with a legend since the days of John Barnes and Luther Blissett, Mo Johnston, all them kind of guys, Tommy Mooney. He's a leader. He leads by example. Considering where he's been with his past and stuff, with him being in jail a few years back, he's really turned it around.
I mean, that is the thing, isn't it? From the outside looking in, is that I'll put my hands up and say there was a time where I remember seeing Watford playing in the Championship. Deeney playing in the Championship and getting booed every time he touched the ball, and people couldn't stand him. He'd spent time in jail, you know, and that stuff normally sticks in football. But now it's almost a model professional now, isn't it? I mean, it really is.
Yeah, he's really turned it around. I mean, when we first signed him, we were struggling in the Championship. The season after that, we just got the owners in, the new owners, the Pozzos, and it's just been an uphill.
It's the most Watford pronunciation of the Pozzo family I've ever heard. The Pozzos.
Pozzo, yeah, Pozzo. But what they've done for us has been, I'm not gonna lie, we're not a big club. We're not going to be a big club. We never have been a big club. Possibly in the halcyon days of the early 80s when we got into Europe and got to the cup final, and we've been sort of under the radar, playing in the old Division 2, getting relegated. We've got to the Premier League twice already, relegated bottom of the league, and staying up last season was a massive lift for us. Everyone tipped us to go down. With us, Bournemouth and possibly Norwich. Norwich went down, but Bournemouth and Watford, probably for me, were the surprise packages of last season.
Well, I mean, Deeney
especially
made a
on the
very
back
good
of the
point.
Liverpool result, and grinding out results away from home, especially.
Well, Deeney made a very good point as I was saying that because of the Leicester story last season, Watford went completely under the radar. Finished 13th, and at one point we're right. And that
they would have been had it not been
a terrible finish to the season.
Had it not been for Leicester winning the league and what they're doing, the things that they've done, Watford would have probably been. Got a little bit more exposure than probably what Leicester did.
Yeah.
But we're happy sitting under the radar. We know what we are. But what our owners have done is they haven't plunged a hell of a lot of money in the club. Like, you're going to sign this £50 million player, and they've improved the infrastructure around Vicarage Road. I mean, the stadium compared to what it was 5 years ago.
I remember when you last came up into the Premier League, it was just didn't seem right seeing Premier League games happening there at times.
Yeah, I mean the stadium was transformed. It's all the same colour. It's all it looks actually like a proper Premier League football stadium. I mean, I prefer the days of like the old Highbury and going to Goodison Park when it was 50, 60,000 people going there every week. But we couldn't have asked for a better bunch of owners.
I mean, it's amazing as well
compared to some of the other clubs that have got bad owners like Blackburn and the issues with Newcastle.
We just had on the sofa. Yeah, there's plenty out there. There's plenty of awful owners out there. It's interesting as well because we had a lot of Watford fans on the Lime Green sofa over the course of this season so far, and it's been interesting from the outside looking in. You see owners sacking managers left, right, and centre, and you assume it's a badly run club. But every Watford fan, to a man, loves the Pozzos. Absolutely loves it. Let's talk about this forged document from a couple of weeks ago. And my favourite lie ever told. So Rafael Riva, the chairman, stepped down in the week. Apparently because he wants to focus on other businesses. Definitely nothing to do with the fact that a forged document came out 2 weeks ago. That was ridiculous. Well, what did you make of that whole thing?
I mean, I don't work for the club. I'm not gonna sit here and comment on things I've probably got zero knowledge of. But it doesn't sound great. I think maybe Riva's probably jumped before he was pushed.
Was he the fall guy, do you think? He's almost taken the hit.
He's the executive chairman. He has to take the fall for it, unfortunately. Doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, especially for us being, we've always been touted as the family club, the original family club, and the stuff like that gone on behind the scenes with
not what you associate.
Bank letters. It's not the thing you'd associate with a club like Watford. It's not great.
That's a very fair way of putting it. Let's look forward to the game tomorrow in more detail. You can sit up now as well. You're falling asleep.
He's sitting all
so bored hearing about Watford. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm joking. What can we expect from Watford tomorrow? As a Liverpool fan, as a scout, what would we expect to see from Watford tomorrow?
Do you want to start it off or what?
I don't mind, mate. 3, 4, 5.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, Everton. 1-0 to Liverpool.
Still, I'm not nailing these today. I'm normally better than that.
Come on, Everton.
I can tell you
Everton
that
scored.
Eden Hazard has scored for Chelsea, 1-0 up at home.
Listen to the groans.
Right.
Yeah, they're doing all right at the minute since they've switched to a back three, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leaving Hazard free is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Now he doesn't have to worry about defending. You forget he's quite a good player. He scored that ridiculous goal against Liverpool towards the end of last season.
That made me sick. Not gonna lie.
Oh.
It's this loud.
Sorry, and Stephen Sidwell has scored for Brighton as well in the late kick-off there, who are actually, they're on Newcastle's tails. It's not a sure thing that Newcastle are going to win the Championship this season. No, so, honestly, what's the game plan do you expect to see from Matsari and Watford tomorrow when they come to Anfield?
I think we want like all-out defence. We know that Prodal's a doubt, success is a doubt. Oh, gonna go.
Come on, Everton.
I'm getting worse at these. 2-0 Chelsea.
Oh, look at
Alonso, I think I'm right in saying that's his first goal for the club as well.
I was going to say, this is going to be a riot.
This could get ugly. I mean, that 19th minute and 20th minute, I've just been told in my ear, so 2-0 to Chelsea, not going very well for Everton at the moment there. They look actually worryingly quite good now, Chelsea, don't they, since they've made this switch? Well, you play free at the back as well, don't you?
Yeah.
This kind of 3-5 or 5-3, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we've got Prodal, we've got Cathcart when he's fit. Prudel. As in strudel, but Prodal.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to jinx it. He's going to pop up tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, last season we had Prodal and Neon, and they were pretty solid the first few games. Now we've got Cathcart, we've Ben Watson on the fringes. But our midfield, we've got Berami, we've got Holibas, Pereira, who's, for me, the revelation, I think, for Watford this season. He's an unbelievable player. Amrabat is paced down the left-hand side. I mean, he run the left-back at Hull ragged last week. Maybe his work rate deserved a goal, I think. And obviously we've got Dean and Igalo up front, but Igalo, for me, maybe wouldn't have seen the pitch had success been fit.
Well, I mean, £37.5 million a Chinese club offered for Igalo in the summer, and you rejected it. Do you wish you had it now?
No comment.
That kind of defeats the whole object of this TV show. Right?
Have a well be your agent, mate. No.
I mean, it's a serious amount of money for a man. I mean, he just isn't scoring goals at the minute.
As I said before, he needs a goal to boost his confidence. Once he gets that goal, if he gets that goal, he may well turn into the player that he was.
He needs a clock.
No, it's because I'm just thinking that he hasn't scored all this time or whatever, how long, I don't know. But for some reason, he could just score against us tomorrow.
I mean, if Deeney and Igalo were the same twosome that they were last season.
Where would Watford be at the moment? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to try and contain the likes of Coutinho? So, I mean, I just want to know, really.
I like Ben Watson. I think he's a player. Is he fit? Is he playing tomorrow?
He's probably not going to play, to be honest. We got Holibas and Berami, maybe the two. Who may try and contain Coutinho and Firmino and all them guys up front, but it's a tough one.
You've always got to hope they have enough day.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I
mean, my heart says it's going to be it's a Liverpool win, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As much as I'm scared that we might end up losing, I mean, I'm 89% sure that we're going to win the game.
89%.
I mean, I'm hoping.
And we might get a draw. We might somehow freak accident, tornado lose.
As a Watford fan, I mean, obviously we hope that they're going to win. I'm not going to.
Of course.
We hope that they're going to win. We wouldn't be football fans if we didn't think that we're going to win every single game. But Liverpool, in the way that they're playing at the moment,
and at home,
I'd be perfectly happy with a draw. But I don't like to be pessimistic, Watford fan.
Well, let's get a couple of predictions now, okay? So you think Liverpool are going to win?
Yeah, it's just a question of how much. I think, no, seriously, because with the way how it is now, is that whenever we win, Arsenal win, but they win like 4-1, and Man City win like 4-0. So we're expected to score that amount of goals as well. So I'm hoping that we absolutely just tear them apart. But I do think it will be 3-0.
3-0. You? With your head, not your heart.
1-0.
1-0.
1-0, I think. If we played like we did against Manchester United, we're in with a chance. And
saying Man United.
Yeah, just definitely Man United.
It's a tough one. I mean, I mean, 80% of me think it's going to be a Liverpool win. Possibly a comprehensive Liverpool win. But my head says it's good. Oh man, it's a tough one,
We've broken him. We've broken him.
3-1. We've opened him up.
We've broken him. No,
I think we'll get a goal, but basically on Liverpool's defence, we'll get a goal. Where it's going to come from, no idea. Possibly a goal. I really hope Igalo gets a goal.
Do you know? I think your best chance tomorrow. 'Cause I think we're going to win 4-1, but your best chance tomorrow is going to be through set pieces.
Yeah.
That is, and I think if you set up to go.
But we rarely score from set pieces. Right. That's the trouble.
Yeah. But I mean, you need to set up left back, right back channels. You need to be getting.
Amrabat needs to be quick down the wing. He needs to be quick down the wing.
Yeah, and I mean, you never know. The ball's round, so.
We need to get the ball to Amrabat. He needs to run at the defenders, get the balls in the box, and hopefully someone will be on the end of it.
As you say, there will be spaces.
Yeah, there will be spaces. As you know, that game is always. Watford Liverpool's always going to be an exciting game, like the Liverpool Crystal Palace game. Those games are just naturally always going to be open. So I mean, you're going to get your money's worth tomorrow. So just strap in.
Well, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I want to get my £42 worth.
It's the biggest game tomorrow. Last game of the WSL. Watford ladies taking on Aston Villa at Villa Park. So
as well.
Yeah. There will be 2 million penalties. Just saying.
I hope so. He's in my fantasy football team as well. He's back. He is tomorrow. We've literally got like a minute to go until the break. Wider predictions. Where are Liverpool going to finish in the league this season?
We're winning the league.
We are going to win the. We're going to win the league, and we're going to win the league comfortably by at least 7 to 8 points.
Here we go. We've got some Arsenal fans on their way that might disagree. Watford's 7th at the moment. Where are they going to end up?
I'll be happy with mid-table. I'll be happy with mid-table. I mean, I'm not gonna dress it up. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, we're gonna get into the Europa League.
Might end up on top of Man United.
I'd be lying if I said, oh yeah, we're gonna get into Europe. We're gonna.
When you said
win
mid-table,
something.
what? First half was top 10 or 10, 11, 12?
12, 13, maybe possibly where we were last season.
Right? Top half will be
better than last season. We finished
13th last season.
Yeah,
so 12 and upwards. Yeah. 12 and upwards.
Top 10. Yeah, great.
Guys, our time is over, but it's been a pleasure having you on the Lime Green Sofas. We'll get you back on later, and we'll see how your predictions are coming along.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. And all enjoy the game tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. We are still live, and we'll be back in a couple of moments talking about Arsenal versus Tottenham tomorrow. See you there. Hello, welcome back to Fan TV. I can tell you, if you just joined us, that Chelsea are 2-0 up at home to Everton at the moment. They scored in the 19th and 20th minute. Hazard and Alonso with the goals there. And just a quick rundown of the Premier League results as well, the full-time scores from the 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunderland got a much-needed win away at Bournemouth, down to 10 men as well. Massive result for them. Burnley scored in the 94th minute to beat Crystal Palace 3-2 at home as well. Manchester City dropped points as well. A 91st minute equaliser from Middlesbrough, lots of late goals going in, and West Ham just can't settle in at their new home, can they? 1-1 at home to Stoke today. We'll keep you across the scores from the Chelsea game as well as they go in. We had the results from poll 2 in from earlier. Thank you everyone that voted at FanTV UK. The majority of you wanted to see Jose Mourinho getting sacked televised after Sunita announced she was going to have a delicate operation live on TV this week. And second place was a night out with Andy Carroll and Darren Randolph, I assume, as well, which normally finishes in McDonald's at about 7 in the morning. And poll 3 is available now, so you can go to Twitter at FanTV UK and vote. And it's very perfect for what we're about to talk about. It is simply, who is the better defender? Is it Laurent Koscielny or Toby Alderweireld? Let us know on Twitter at FanTV UK. And let's get Lee and Tom, our Arsenal fans, on the line. Good over, can't chaps? Here we go. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you again, mate. How you been? All right?
Good, thanks. Can we turn this round?
Oh, you've been watching Kenny Ken, have you? You don't want to sit there with the signed Harry Kane photo in the background, no?
I'll be having that.
No, he's, well, he might be back tomorrow. He might be back tomorrow. It's interesting, we talked about this actually before we came on air. And I said, you know, the talk of him being fit tomorrow, Harry Kane might be back. And we both kind of agreed if he does start, it's a bit of a sign of desperation, isn't it?
Definitely. Desperation, that's a nice word, isn't it? Like, you know, so, it definitely would be a sign of desperation if they start him. But I think they will.
You think they will?
Yeah, I do think they will. I think they give him a run out for 60, 70 minutes. I think if the one thing with Spurs at the moment is that they're not scoring goals. So I think that they're probably playing,
Yeah. I mean, bit of a worry, I guess, to see Harry Kane back on the score sheet against Arsenal. It's almost like
I'll leave that one to you, Tom.
Yeah, because he always scores. I mean, it's a curse that he does, and it's funny because he was such a low-down player in their ranks when he first started, wasn't getting minutes, and then as soon as he came onto the scene, he absolutely burst onto it and scoring goals. And he's actually a player that, as Arsenal fans, envious in a way that we don't have that type of striker for this many years that we've been barren up top. But now, with Alexis up there, it looks much brighter for the future. But
with the Alexis going up front thing, is there an element that Arsene Wenger rather stumbled upon and, dare I say, fluked his current lineup? I mean, I'd dare say that if Danny Welbeck was fit and Olivier Giroud was fit, that Iwobi wouldn't be playing on the left, you know, and Sanchez wouldn't be playing through the middle. Is there an element of that at all? And also talk about centre backs. I mean, he signed Mustafi, who's been immense. But would he have signed him if Mertesacker was fit? It's a bit like when Coquelin got recalled from Charlton to play at the centre of the midfield. Has he kind of stumbled across this formula?
I think he's a lucky manager, but you know, with that, he's a good manager. You know, we're talking about Klopp earlier on, who's a very good manager as well. But I do think that you have to have that little bit of luck, and Wenger definitely has that. You know, as you said with the Coquelin one season before, 2 seasons ago. You know he's now probably first, second on the team sheet, and the Sanchez one. You know, I was against it at first. I'll be honest, but you know, over these last few games, it's a must now. You know, he plays up front now, whatever happens, and because he's just been absolutely outstanding. So, yeah, he's lucky. You've got to give Wenger a bit of credit for it, and I'm not.
It's nice of you.
Yeah. I'm not proud to say it as well. You know, I mean, I'll give him the credit where it's due, and. I think it's been a fantastic thing for us.
One guy who is back, returns from suspension, is Granit Boom Shakalaka. What a player he is. What a signing he's been.
He's been a good player. There were doubts, and I know someone who's a Gladbach fan, or as they put it, that German team. And he was apprehensive about it because of his disciplinary record, which has now come to the fore, and he got his suspension, and now he returns. But he came back in midweek, got the goal straight away after going 2-0 down. And he's just that destroyer that we've lacked, and a leader as well that we've really lacked. We've lacked people shouting on the pitch, and with Xhaka in, he's certainly someone who's going to voice their mouth.
Is it all set up for him to get sent off tomorrow? Return from suspension.
I don't think he'll play tomorrow. I don't think he'll play. No, I think it should be El Neni and Coquelin. You know, I think that El Neni has been playing really well the last few games, and he didn't play in midweek, so I would go down that route.
He was brilliant from January onwards last season as
well. Yeah, I think he's a little bit underrated, if I'll be honest. And But you know, Xhaka's a nice person to have in the ranks as well. We've got Ramsey as well in the ranks as well. So
I mean, the Arsenal fan we had on Skype earlier from Milwaukee let us know. I mean, he said about the strength in depth at Arsenal. Was that the thing? I mean, you wouldn't have suspensions and injuries.
We don't want to gloat. We don't want to gloat. We certainly have got. I think, along with Manchester City, if I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think the two strongest squads. I'm not saying the best team, but definitely the two strongest squads. You know, if Liverpool do lose Coutinho, maybe one other, I don't think they've got quite the strength to replace that. Where I think that Arsenal have, which has let us down. Coming from February onwards, like, you know.
So when you're pulling Shamak and Bentner off the bench.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right,
yeah. But you look at this is funny. You like reminisce about old times and that. But Shamak and Bentner, and we've still got top four with those players. Dean Nielsen and the like. We still got top four.
Yeah.
So to sing Wenger's praises a little.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Santi Cazorla still doubtful.
Yeah.
Is he a bit of an unsung hero in ways? I mean. He's a brilliant player, Santi Cazorla, but the focus is so much on the guys in front of him on the pitch. But since he's dropped deep, he's been immense for you guys.
Yeah, he has. In terms of an unsung hero, I mean, I sing his praises all the time, and I think he's a fantastic. Since we bought him from Malaga, and it was actually one of those players. I saw Harry Redknapp talking about when he was Spurs manager, he wanted to sign him, and he's one of those players that sort of went under the radar, and we sort of snapped him up. But now he's brilliant in terms of his ball play. And the fact that the effect he has on Ozil, because when you watch Ozil without Santi in the team, Ozil drops a lot deeper to try and get the ball. And with Santi in there, with that creativity in that holding role, Ozil's then got a lot more freedom to stay up the park and team up with Giroud or Alexis, whoever's playing up front. And his passing and his creativity is just sublime.
Yeah, we're going to come back to Arsenal. We're going to quickly interrupt with a Skype call, who is Joe, I believe, who is our Celtic fan. Hello, Joe.
Hi there, how's things?
Yeah, I'm very, very well, thank you, very, very well. You're a Celtic fan, I believe. You won 3-0 today against Inverness.
Absolutely, yep. Nice to win against Inverness, but far more significant for Celtic fans was the draw with Borussia Mönchengladbach in midweek. That was a real tonic. After their visit to Celtic Park, there's a little bit of fear going over there, but we were all encouraged again, the progress that Brendan Rodgers is making. So 3-0 wins against Inverness will come and go, but a 1-1 draw in Mönchengladbach, avoiding defeat in the Champions League, is incredibly welcome and encouraging for all Celtic fans.
Yep, I mean, you spoke. I think that German team is Mönchengladbach, or otherwise known. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was an amazing result for Celtic in the week. You touched on it there about 3-0 wins will come and go. Is that kind of a strange dynamic on us being a Celtic fan, that the league is almost wrapped up already, and that you have to almost wait for these huge nights in amongst it?
No, it's not a problem. The domestic scene under Ronnie Dyler, the domestic scene was dire. We were going home earlier and earlier. The seats were emptying. There's good football to be had. For you English guys, it might seem a bit strange being so clear, but if Celtic were clear and not playing well, it would be an issue. But the team is playing a totally different brand of football. It's exciting. Folk are looking forward to going to the matches. If the other teams can't keep up with us, that's life. But there's a balancing act. Celtic Park comes alive at Champions League nights. We all look forward to them. We look forward to progressing and doing well. Possibly not points-wise, but I would suggest most clubs would struggle against Mönchengladbach, Man City, or a German team, Man City and Barcelona. So it's about getting the balance. If it was run-of-the-mill football and humdrum 3-0 wins, that might be an issue, but we're all genuinely enjoying the football under Brendan Rodgers. It's a breath of fresh air and incredibly welcome.
Is there a part of you that is kind of glad to see Rangers back in the SPL, to add another fixture to... No, apparently not. I mean, but to have another fixture to look forward to?
Rangers died in 2012. Rangers cheated Her Majesty out of lots of money. That's why they could afford all those great players. The new Tribute Act can't really afford players, and that's why they get Andy Halliday, Joe Garner, Clint Hill, and a lot of other old duds. And now they're living within their means. They're finding out how other clubs used to play. It's pretty painful for them, but maybe there'll be a sugar daddy coming along to pour millions into them. but I suspect not. So it's nice to have that tribute act back, a little reminder of the past, and beat them 5-1 and 1-0. It's very satisfying. I suspect there'll be a good few more heavy victories for Celtic as the club from Ibrox, the fans from Ibrox, begin to live within their means. It's good times for Celtic fans. Trust me, this laughter isn't fake.
They did beat them in the cup semi-final last year.
They did beat them in the cup semi-final last year.
Yep, they did. And the Celtic manager was called Ronnie Dyler. And the new Celtic manager is Brendan Rodgers. He's got incredible statistics against the club from Ibrox, 5-1 and 1-0. And looking forward to getting to Ibrox. Hogmanay, and hopefully dishing out another lesson to them, and perhaps someday they might take on board some of those lessons under delusions that they're ready to challenge Celtic.
There's no Rangers fans here to argue with you, so fill your boots, frankly. Fill your boots. Just quickly, I've got a minute to go until the break. What can Celtic achieve this season?
What Celtic do this season?
Yeah.
I suspect we're not going to beat Manchester City or Barcelona in the Champions League. We'll drop out of Europe. We'll win this SPL a canter. Hopefully a couple of decent signings in January, and perhaps might win the treble, perhaps not. You get some funny refereeing decisions up here, but next season Celtic will be better equipped for the Champions League and going forward in every direction.
Best of luck. Well, thank you very much for Skyping. Thoroughly enjoyable. Well done. Well done. I'm sure there's lots of Rangers fans watching who are biting their tongue there. You're feel free to Skype us at Fan TV channel if you want to post a riposte to that rather one-sided argument on Celtic there. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to keep looking forward to the North London derby in just a sec. See you there. Hi there, I can tell you that in that break there was another goal at Stamford Bridge and Diego Costa. Oh, I'm getting so rubbish at these. I used to nail them. I don't know, I've been off for a week. I've forgotten how to do it. I'm going to come back in and practice, sorry. I'll get back to the training ground on that. 3-0, Diego Costa has made it, so things could get very ugly for Everton. Top of the league as well, Chelsea. Turned it around a bit, haven't they, those guys?
Yeah, I mean, Conte coming in originally, and we spank them 3-0. And convincingly, and they looked poor. Defensively, it was poor. Kante did not look the player that he was when he was at Leicester, but now he seems to be coming to the fore and really playing well. Costa's scoring a lot more. Obviously, last season he had a bit of a dodgy run, and his first season was excellent. Now he's recapturing that form. But, I mean, we've got the 3 points over them, so we don't have to worry about them in terms of fixtures until the new year. But we just got to keep doing what we're doing, win our matches, not focus on anyone else, and just get our heads down, get 3 points each week.
So Tottenham tomorrow, the biggest game in your calendar. I asked an Arsenal fan earlier. It's the first fixture you look out for, is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have to say that, without a doubt. It's you know, because you've got all your friends and family, mates and whatever. So it is the game. I don't look forward to the game, if I'll be honest.
Really?
No, it's just because there's not just the 3 points riding on it. It's all the stick if you lose. And you know, obviously, you know, hopefully we'll be gloating tomorrow. But you know, you just never know what's going to happen in those games as well. They're great games to be involved in, whether you're a player or supporter as well. You know, the atmosphere tomorrow is always electric. You know, even more so when you go to White Hart Lane. But you know, it's one of the better games without a doubt.
It was a great game last season. Ended up it was a draw, wasn't it? But a lot of people said it was the best team that went to best performance at Emirates all season.
Well, it was definitely the best team I've seen down there. For 70 minutes, they was the best team. That includes Barcelona and Bayern Munich. They played really, really well. And unbelievably, after 70 minutes, if they'd have got the second goal, they would have gone on and won it. Unbelievably, we could have gone, once we equalised, we could have gone on and won the game.
Gibbs could have scored the other one,
yeah. Giroud had a couple of good chances, but so they, you know, they're definitely not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, just quickly as well, we'll come back to it, but we've had a tweet in about Manchester United, even though they're not even on the sofa, and I think they're still getting some abuse. I haven't seen it myself. Zlatan said, "Time to let the world know my next destination is Man United," and somebody's replied saying, "Great, when are you arriving then, pal?" That's very, very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. I enjoyed that. Back to Tottenham and Arsenal. So Arsenal, I mean, after the first game of the season, with a transfer window where fans are getting frustrated, probably the most negative I've ever known Arsenal fans going into a season, and that Liverpool game really confounded your worst fears. Since then, unbeaten in 50. Exactly, yeah. Unbeaten in 50. And I mean, can you believe how well it's going?
I mean, looking into the season that, as you say, we went in so poorly without the transfers ready. But as soon as we brought Mustafi in, him and Koscielny at the back has been something we've missed, that partnership of quality. I mean, Mertezaka's okay, and he does a good job. His spatial awareness is good, but at the end of the day, he's very slow. And then when we had Vermaelen had tendencies to be out of position quite often. He liked going forward to score goals, which often left us vulnerable. But the turnaround this season from when we started so poorly is fantastic, and I think it goes down to the depth that we've got, the fact that we've stumbled upon this Alexis deal, and the player for me that's done it is Theo Walcott. He's actually stepped up for once. I think the reason why Alexis plays so well on his own up top is because that Theo Walcott now has a more footballing brain to know that when Alexis vacates that space, he then goes into it and they move around, like the goal against Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Walcott sometimes had it in his head that he couldn't score goals from the right wing,
exactly.
Which is where Messi does all right from out there, doesn't he? Just quickly, before we get too pro-Arsenal, we're going to balance out. We have Harry, our Spurs fan, on Skype. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
How are you doing, mate? You all right? You've probably been listening to the chat here. Arsenal unbeaten in 15. Spurs haven't won in 6. It's not a great time to play them, really, is it?
No. I mean, after what happened on Wednesday, we don't look good at all, to be honest. And we really, 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 really have to step up and perform tomorrow. It's a massive game.
You guys will know from the time that Arsenal were there as well. I want to touch on the midweek game, the loss to Leverkusen. This Wembley effect, can you put your finger on what it is that causes that?
Well, better teams, they're playing against better teams.
For me, I don't think it's a Wembley effect. I think it's more the fact that when we play in Europe, we don't seem to play the same way, like the high press and everything. It doesn't seem the same at all.
That's strange, isn't it? I mean, there's no.
I think it does. There is a little bit because it's not your hun. I do believe that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a little
it's
bit,
not your
maybe,
hun. You know, and Spurs are experiencing a little bit of what they're going to experience with their new stadium, and they're getting a lot of tourists going there as well. So the atmosphere is not quite the same as what it would be at White Hart Lane. It's not as hostile. I think you know that it does help. It does take you a little bit of time to get used to a ground. It took us a few years to get used to the Emirates. And I think that, going there and then next week they're playing at White Hart Lane, and I think it does have a little bit of an effect.
Yeah, I mean, a good friend of mine who's a Spurs fan was saying that he would have rather just play at White Hart Lane in front of 30,000. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't like Wembley as a stadium. As in, I find you can't generate the same amount of atmosphere as, say, if you sit, the old White Hart Lane or somewhere else. It's not the same. Obviously, it's not our home.
I think they designed it for Taylor Swift concerts, not football matches. Sadly, I think that's the problem there. You seem a bit down, Harry, and I think a lot of Spurs fans at the minute, after the high of last season and how well they played last season, are a bit down at the minute because you haven't won in 6 and football goes like this. Next month you might be in a great mood. But, I mean, is it a sign of how far Spurs have come that you're undefeated in the league and you're third in your group of the Champions League? I mean, it's not bad for Spurs, is it?
Well, I think it's the fact that a lot of us fans, we spent so much time trying to get back into the Champions League, and now, we don't. It's not like we're not winning games, and we're not. It doesn't look like we're competing a lot in the Champions League now. Spent so long to get there, and it's just not happening.
Yeah, you
don't. And I think tomorrow's game is massive because we haven't won in 6, like you said, and the players have to perform. There's no excuse.
Harry Kane, there's rumours that, we expect he will be fit. It's just a question of whether he starts or he's on the bench. You guys reckon he will start?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think? I mean, we said here it might be a sign of desperation if he does start.
It's not very... Pochettino didn't make it very clear whether he was fit or not. He said he might start. But a lot of times he's rushed players back. I don't know if you've seen, like Dembele. They rushed him back and then he's just got knock after knock. So I don't know whether they're going to put him straight away or not.
And also, Sissoko doubtful, which is great news, isn't it?
Yeah, he's actually suspended.
Suspended. Yeah, suspended. Yeah,
I'm actually quite happy about that.
I mean, he was shocking in the week against Leverkusen.
Don't get me started. I'm not actually quite sure why we signed him, to be honest. I think it was a panic buy. Yeah. We sold a lot of midfielders and it was like, we had to sign someone. So we just bought Sissoko on the back of good Euros.
And another signing as well that's not really taken off yet is Janssen up front. I mean, unless you get a penalty, he's not much good to you at the moment, is he?
The new Soldado, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a bit mixed about Janssen. I think he's shown a little bit of improvement. I think I would start him tomorrow if Kane isn't fully ready, and then if things go wrong, I'd throw on Kane in the second half and go 4-4-2, classical 4-4-2, and try and recreate the 3-2 back in 2011, something like that.
Yeah, you need a David Bentley wonder goal there, don't you, as well? Just a quick one, a prediction. Yeah, exactly. A prediction, stick your neck out, what do you think the score is going to be tomorrow?
I'm not too confident at all, but I'd take a 1-1 tomorrow, or a 2-2, something like that. Even I would be a long shot for us to win. Arsenal look good this year. If they can keep this up all season, I don't know. They could even win it. And then I'll really go hiding.
Well, you heard it here first. A Spurs fan admitting Arsenal could win the league. Harry, mate, thank you very much for Skyping us. And thank you for being honest as well. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Try and enjoy the game tomorrow.
I'll try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cheers, Harry. Thank you very much. We have a tweet in from Ollie as well, who is the Bournemouth fan that we spoke to earlier, who said he was going to dye his hair. Sorry, I'm trying to work. Oh, there we go. There we go. So Victor Anichebe, you may have seen this, who sent out a tweet, accidentally sent out a tweet that was to his agents, basically. So can you put something like this? And then, here we go, it's behind me as well. Can you put something like, what a result, strong character for the team and the fans are amazing. That's good from him to make his own joke about him. So fair play to Victor Anichebe there. Fair play to him there. And he scored as well, so he's turning it around a bit. A Spurs fan there admitting that Arsenal, if they keep it up, they could win the league. That must have felt quite nice.
You can see the difference in mentality, can't you, to fans? So we're confident, and why you say you don't like the game, and I understand that because it is nervous that I go into it thinking we should win this and we've got to win this, rather than I'm not that confident. But I'm always confident about it.
I always think with Arsenal Spurs games, I always look at it that we try to win at home and get a point away. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I never think that we're always going to win those games, particularly at White Hart Lane. I just feel that, you know, Spurs are a good side. I feel that, but I think that we was having a laugh with the lads and all that earlier on. I think there is a slightly different mentality of Arsenal this season, you know, and I feel that, you know, one of the reasons is if, say, someone like Walcott's not playing, Chamberlain's coming in and doing the business. The players that are coming in are just doing as
I mean, I want to ask you the same thing I asked the guys here who were the non-Arsenal fans on the sofa a bit earlier. We've been here before in November. We've been waxing lyrical about Arsenal before. Does it feel different? See, part of me feels that this is the best I can remember seeing Arsenal, but then I can't remember if this time last year I was thinking exactly the same thing. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I think last season, this time last season, I think we was in the same sort of position, but I always thought, I don't know how we was there. I didn't feel as confident going into games. I do feel there's a slight difference in the demeanour of the team. The manager, I think there's definitely a little bit. And the fans, I think you go to the games now, the fans are a little bit more together. So I do feel it's... Whether we're going to win it or not is another thing. I think we'll come close. I think we're going to challenge. Whether we win it or not, I think that, you know, it does depend on what Man City do. Yeah. If I'll be honest, I think Liverpool... I think Liverpool... they've gone now, so I can say what I want. So,
hey, I'm still here.
I forgot about that. I think Liverpool will be up there because they haven't got the European thing to worry about. But I just think if they do get a couple of injuries, I think that they could suffer. That's what I personally think.
You've already had a few injuries.
Yeah, so we've been there and we know exactly what that's like.
Right. You know, we'll carry on talking about the game after the break. We've had a couple of tweets in as well. The whole of the England celebrates a Sunderland victory by setting off fireworks up and down the country. Brilliant stuff. that's very good. They're all for you, Sunderland fans, I promise. And Burnley have the best home record so far this year. Let that sink in, I think is the joke there. I think that's the joke there. Well done, well done, well done. Right, we will see you a break. Keep your tweets coming in. Cheers. We were discussing in the break there how much we'd love to one day be involved in a pitch invasion. I've never been a part of one. You were saying you have been.
Yes. So I went to Nottingham-Trent University, and it was varsity and with football at the Notts County ground, and we ran on when there was a whistle was blown when we thought it was full time, but it was actually blown for a free kick in the last minute.
Oh, really?
So there's about 5,000 students on the pitch, and the rest are like, we're not finished yet.
I'd love to be a part of one. I'm going to Anfield tomorrow. I might run on. If you see a naked man running across the pitch, you'll know it's me. We've been playing Would You Rather with the fans earlier. We asked the Liverpool fans, would you rather lose Coutinho or Jurgen Klopp? Here's one that we want to pitch to you. Would you rather get a Spurs tattoo on your neck or lose every single North London derby for the next 10 years?
Oh.
That's 20 games
I'll
minimum.
take one for the team and get the tattoo.
You take one for the team and get the neck tattoo?
Yeah, so I can't have us losing. I can't.
Roberto Firmino-esque.
I think I'd emigrate to Australia.
Yeah, you could just have the whole logo. You got the whole logo on your head, Lee.
No, I'd emigrate to Australia and let them win 20 times. I think I couldn't have a tattoo. A chicken on me? No, I couldn't have that.
No, I like that. I like those Would You Rathers. I enjoyed that.
I didn't enjoy that one.
No, you didn't like that one. No, well, I had a great time, if that's any consolation. Unbeaten in 15, not 1 in 6 Spurs. It's set up for Spurs to go and win it. That's how derbies work, isn't it? Does the form go completely out the window?
Nah, not really. You know, it hasn't over the years. If I be honest, you know, we've had the upper hand, haven't we? Really, because we've been the better side. That's no disrespect, but I keep saying against Spurs, it is disrespect. You know, I don't think. You know, I think form does. You know, they're not. I'd rather be playing Spurs on the run that they're in than what they were a month ago. You know, I'd rather be playing them now than what, say, like when they just beat Man City the following week. You know, I think that goes without saying. So, you know, it's a good time to take them on. And if we're going to be challenging for the title, bring it on. Let's see what we can do. That's how I think you've got to be.
You got to beat the team.
You've got to beat them. Exactly right.
Yeah. We touched on it earlier, but that goal in the middle of the week by Mesut Ozil, what a goal that was.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, was it?
No, it's just a technical ability to, and I think it was
probably the only player in English football, certainly, that would finish the goal that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
to think like that and to produce it.
But it's because when I was on here last week with one of my other mates, Ola, and we were asked the question, why isn't Ozil on the Ballon d'Or list? And I said, I can see why, because he's not scoring enough goals, and he's not getting noticed that way. He's not that type of player. But now he is scoring goals. You could consider him up there with the very best. And the fact that he's adding goals to his game, I think he's now scored 8 or something like that, and it's equalled the amount he scored more than he's ever scored before already. So
I love watching Mesut Ozil. He's one of my favourite. I think him and De Bruyne and Coutinho, those three are my favourite to watch in the league at the moment.
I think with Ozil, you know, it gets a little bit of a rough deal because of like his demeanour. Do you know what I mean? Like the swagger of him, you know, and people don't like that. But when he does things like that, you can forgive him, can't you? Like, you know, it was an absolute wonder goal, and he has got that in his locker. You can see that. You know, it's not just going to be a one-off of him. I think, you know, he got a wonder goal the month before. You know, so I think you know he does get a little bit of a rough press, but I think, you know, he's one of the best players in the Premier League now, and you know, we're lucky to have him.
It's I've never seen a player as well who the pass they play is not the one you're expecting at all. I've never seen a player like that. Someone who'll go bombing overlapping and he'll shape to go that way. And then he spotted some bloke making it. I go, hang on. I mean, those eyes obviously work for him, those chameleon eyes of his. He obviously uses them, doesn't he? We have another Skype caller, I believe, is a Middlesbrough fan who's probably very, very happy indeed.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. How are you doing? Right.
Well chuffed, mate. Absolutely buzzing.
Sorry, mate. I didn't catch your...
What a finish. What a finish.
I didn't catch your name, mate. Sorry.
Nathan.
Did you watch the game?
I couldn't watch the game, unfortunately. No, I was working, but I had a cheeky earphone in on the radio.
Very nice.
What a result, mate. What a result.
I mean, looked a bit shaky. And
I think City were looking to get away with the point, to be honest. I mean...
Sound like you outplayed them. I mean... It's interesting. I turned around and, you know, I put my hands up on this. Middlesbrough was so good defensively last season in the Championship, brilliant defensively, and I kind of looked at them and went, well, they're all right defensively in the Prem, but because they're not scoring goals, it's not enough. They're still conceding one. They're not going to. And I said they're going to go down. They were in my tip, but you've turned it around. You've adapted.
Tarrant out, mate. Tarrant out.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I've started to think of joining the movement myself at the moment. I mean, looking brilliant though, Middlesbrough at the minute, playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, we were sat down with Justin Collins, and he was talking about stats, and they didn't sort of 3 games ago. They weren't looking too good. There were, you know, a lot of bad stats to look at. But now we're unbeaten in 3. Managed to get that point away at Arsenal. beating Bournemouth comfortably as well, I'd say, and then managing to nick a point today it's really good to move forward. It's just a shame that we've got the international break. I mean, I don't really like international stuff, to be honest. I feel like it just breaks the break. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to Chelsea on the 20th. Hoping we can nick something more. Maybe even get 3. I don't know. It's just starting to dream now. I think we can just do anything. We can give anyone a run for the money.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Because you are good defensively, I alluded to it while I was reading out the score was still 1-0. As long as you keep yourself in the game, certainly in the Premier League as well, then anything can happen. And it's a great starting point for Middlesbrough.
Exactly. And we were sort of shouting for Traore to get involved for a long time. And then that Arsenal point when, Traore did start and he's really proven his worth. And it's just nice to see that we're having a little bit more attacking. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just happy, mate. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you see,
buzzing, mate. I'm just buzzing.
I'm not surprised. to go and nick a point away at City is a good.
They've done it to us as well, and deservedly so. They got a deserved point against us.
They deserve to win that game.
Yeah, they played really well that day.
Absolutely.
And as an Arsenal fan, I was disappointed because I thought it was 2 points dropped. But then they've gone to Manchester City today and done them as well. So fair play to them. You can't knock
it there. Just a quick one as well. I have an absolute. A sickening love for George Friend at left back. I think he's quality.
He's such an absolute. He's just brilliant, and he's the one who he assisted. I don't know if you know. He assisted the goal to De Bruyne. He was his.
Nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and he's doing really well as well. He had the captain's armband over at Bournemouth, I think, and I think at Arsenal as well. So he's really just solidifying that defence, and Chambers is proving his worth as well. He's doing really well. Great signing, great loan.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's just but yeah, I'm sure today it wasn't probably pretty at times, but we'd have taken that point. We'd have snapped your fingers off.
I'm sure you would have done. What can Middlesbrough achieve this season? It's still very much just stay up, or are you getting carried away now that you've drawn with Arsenal and City?
Well, I think no one expected us to get these 2 points. These are definitely 2 points that we never thought we were going to get. Or we were hopeful. Apart from Chelsea and Leicester, the next 2 games, we do have a decent run up into Christmas. I say that like Southampton as if that's an easy 3 points to get or easy point to get. They're playing really well at the moment, but we've got Swansea, we've got Hull. So hopefully by the time we're coming to Christmas, you should see sort of halfway through the season, should you be able to see where we're going to be and what we're going to look like. But I'm very hopeful. I think we're going to be comfortable. And I'd like to think that we're just going to cruise it and maybe even finish, 13th, 14th. Yeah. We're 14th at the moment. That's where I'd like to. I'd like to just do. I don't want to be looking at points and goal difference in the last few weeks. I just want to be comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I think we will be. I think we will be.
No, I think you will be now as well. After do a U-turn and admit that. Yeah. Go back to ironing. I can see an ironing board behind you.
Yeah, mate. Gonna get back on with it, to be honest.
Well, thank you for taking time out your busy ironing schedule to talk to us. We appreciate
cheers,
it,
mate. I appreciate it.
Mate. Enjoy the weekend. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Must be nice to hear positive reports about Callum Chambers out down there.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, no, I'm a big Chambers fan. I think eventually it'll be a centre half for us. Again, a good thing we've got him and Rob Holding as well, young English players coming through. So and it's nice that he's playing. Sometimes they go out on loan, these players, and don't play, but he seems to be gone up there and he's playing every week. So fair play to him. It's good.
Another youngster as well that is very much in your first team at the minute, Alex Iwobi. How impressed have you been by him this season?
It's the rise. It's the same sort of, it emulates the sort of rise that Bellerin had. And there's 2 youngsters. It's great to see it coming through because there was a period at Arsenal a few years back where it wasn't so much the youth.
Which is and you're spot on, and that's kind of what Wenger built his reputation on, was bringing through young talent.
So now it's still there, and what he does, there are criticisms like defensively he needs to work harder, and that's why he leaves Monreal, or if it's Gibbs, more vulnerable. But he's going forward. His confidence on the ball, his dribbling. I mean, the skills he used in the home game a couple of weeks ago is just getting through players, and he's fantastic. If he adds more goals to a game, he's the full package.
That's the one thing missing from it at the minute is it's the end product, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that one thing that's lacking. I just want to say that he's a good thing about Arsenal. I think why I think we are quite popular as well is because we do bring in the youngsters. We're a big club, but we are still prepared to bring in the youngsters. If you look at our squad at the moment, there's 4, 5, 6 of them that have come through the ranks. We're not just chucking the money at it like Man United and and getting no success. Yeah, but they've got one. But with Rashford, like he's come through, but they're sort of pushing him out left and all that. Like you know, with Arsenal, Wenger does believe in the youngster, and if he believes in him, he gives him a go. And you know, I think he should take a bit of credit for that. It ain't all about spending money, even though we do like him to spend a little bit. Yeah. You know, but to see like people like Bellerin, you know, Coquelin, Iwobi now, Gibbs is still, you know, all playing that have come through the ranks. It's nice. It's nice.
And we've touched on there as well, but Hector Bellerin, what a player, isn't he?
Well,
what a player.
It's and it's actually quite refreshing to see him come out today. I think it was today or yesterday, and said that he has no interest of going back to Barcelona, which is something that I think as Arsenal fans we have had Cesc and whatnot. It's just nice to know that security's there. But he's a brilliant going forwards. He still needs to work on the final ball, sometimes crossing, but his pace is excellent. I mean, the game against Bayern Munich last year, where he just ran and stole the ball off David Alaba and crossed for Ozil to score. It's just that just highlighted everything that he's about, and it's a great rise.
And he's better than Valencia.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah,
we can all agree on that. I think we've had a question in for you, Lee, apparently, on Twitter. I've not seen it. We've had a question in for you, apparently. Can you please ask what time we're getting the train in the morning? He isn't answering his phone. well, Lee?
About 9:30 time we get on that. That's one of my mates that goes to Arsenal with us. So,
all right, about 9:30. There you go. Yeah. There you go, Tony. That's what we're doing. Bringing people together here on Fan TV. And I think we had another tweet in as well. I'm not sure. Oh, no, that's it. No. Sorry, we're going to reveal the answer to the Let's Get Quizzical, which is where after Romelu Lukaku scored in 7 consecutive games versus West Ham on Sunday, only one player has ever scored in 8 consecutive Premier League games against one club. Who was it? I can tell you, none of us got it here on the sofa. The answer was Robin Van Persie versus Stoke. So well done to anybody that guessed that. Thank you for tweeting us at Fan TV. yeah, of course you did, Lee. That was Let's Get Quizzical. And here I am with long hair. Wasn't great, that, was it? bit naff.
Didn't do you justice at all.
Right, we'll be back after the break for the last section of the show. See you in a bit. Hello, we are hoping that Kenny Ken is going to join us on in Skype in a few moments, so stay tuned for that. He's having a few technical issues, I think, but hopefully
surprise.
Hopefully he's dressed a bit more appropriate than when he was walking around in his underwear last time that he Skyped in during one of our shows. We were talking before about Mesut Ozil. Have you seen this, that Joachim Low hasn't called him up to the Germany squad because he wants to rest him? Now, as a club fan, that must be the best thing you've ever heard ever.
He's auditioning for the job then, isn't he?
He did it last year as well. He says because of the English, the busy winter period, and all the other German players and like Kroos and that who's in Spain, they get a winter break, and Ozil doesn't. So he gives him like international breaks off, so he can like recuperate.
Can Joachim Low international manage all the Liverpool players in the future, please? I mean, that is the one thing you dread an international break, your players going away. So that's
very nice,
must be refreshing,
I wonder, will that happen with him, Ray Khan? Does he do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. But Emery's not played much football this season, so he might.
Not as important as Ozil.
Yeah. To be fair, not to argue with you, but probably about right. Yeah.
So it's nice that he's doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Quite like him now. To be honest.
Well, you say auditioning for the job. He's certainly one that's been touted.
And maybe he is doing a little sneaky audition there. Like, I mean, I'll look after him and.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Yeah. The guy that's replaced him, funnily enough, as these things work out, is Serge Gnabry. Is the one that's been called up to the Germany squad, and I think there might have been a goal. A Chelsea fan, Mark, who works here on Fan TV, is getting very, very excited behind the camera. Who scored, Mark?
Hazard.
Good goal.
Very good goal.
I think you're downplaying it. Well, you heard it here first. That Hazard has just made it 4-0 for Chelsea at home to Everton, who Everton don't really know where they stand. They're looking very good at home and not so good away from home at the minute. But Chelsea are absolutely flying. Title challengers, Chelsea, top of the league now. I mean, they've got to be considered, haven't they?
Yeah, I think we've said before that you can't ignore them. It's just Chelsea have always come back and been in the mix other than last year, which was hilarious. But enjoyed every moment of that. But no, Conte's come in, and at first I was sceptical because obviously he came from the Italian national team where he had the likes of Bonucci and Barzagli and Chiellini and Buffon, and he has to go into a defence with an aging John Terry, Cahill, who's a bit here and there. He's got the likes of Azpilicueta, and he's changed the whole system to this 3-4-3, and it seems to be working. But he couldn't beat the Arsenal, so you know.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I think you played them at a good time.
Yeah, I think we did. They've gone under the radar. Do you think they've gone under the radar a little bit?
Well, I mean, I'd said to you in the break when we looked at as it stands, Chelsea at top of the league, and as a Liverpool fan, we're in fourth at the minute. I'm going, we've played better than Chelsea, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I just think they've gone under the radar, which is a little bit of a worry. They haven't got the Europe as well, have they? So they've got a big squad of players. Yeah. So and Hazard seems to have got his mojo back as well, doesn't he? Like, So they're
Costa. Those two are in form. Chelsea.
So they're definitely.
And Moses as well. Moses has come back.
Where's that come from?
Where's that come from? It was on loan with you guys in Liverpool, and
did nothing.
And didn't do nothing. I think he was at West Ham. I think at one point. Stoke. And now he's come back, and he's a good player when he plays well.
Yeah, but he's always a player that we were expecting big. I love do you see Jamie Redknapp talking about Chelsea bringing through young English talent?
Oh yeah, Nigerian.
What, the 25-year-old Nigerian? You mean, Jamie? Yeah. Cheers, Jamie. And I thought I was stealing a living and doing this job. But no, I was touching it. So Ozil's been rested by Joachim Low, which I'm sure as Arsenal fans you're very thankful for. And Serge Gnabry is the one that's replaced him. He scored 3 and 6 at Werder Bremen. Huge reports coming out of Germany. Did you let him go a bit too soon, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think we did, but he was injured for a while, wasn't he? And I think his contract was running down, and obviously he didn't want to sign one, so we had to let him go, which is a shame because I thought, it's a shame when players, we're talking about it with Ings, who's got a couple of injuries now. It's devastating, and I think like Gnabry had that just when he was just starting to really make his move into the Arsenal team. So, unfortunately injuries happen, and I think, from our point, I think it's a loss for us that we lost. I thought he was a fantastic player.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see him doing well, though.
No, he made the right decision, and completely unselfishly as an Arsenal fan, you look at it and say, if I was Gnabry and I'm not getting into the Arsenal team, and they're a team in Germany's top flight are offering me minutes, and I would have gone.
Yeah, so, you can understand his reasoning. Yeah. I'm going to have to get a couple of predictions from you. Tom, we'll start with you tomorrow.
It's going to be really cagey, and I'm nervous, but it's going to be cagey. I'm going to go 1-0, and Mustafi's going to score it.
Good odds on that. Good odds on that. I'll tell you what, if that's a correct prediction, we'll play that out in the week. That'd be a hell of a prediction. Lee?
I think Spurs will score. But I think that we're 2-1. I think we might just nick it. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. People are sort of, saying, like, a few of the Spurs fans are even saying, "Oh, you're going to go there. We're going to get stuffed." They know that's not going to happen. I think it'd be a cagey, tight, but hopefully we just sneak it 2-1.
That's interesting. You both expected it to be a cagey affair.
Yeah,
because they're normally the North London Derby is a good game. Normally quite
defensively,
open,
they're very, very strong. They're very, very strong.
But Alderweireld's not there, which is huge. So.
Yeah, it'd probably be 5-4 now.
Shows how exactly. Shows how much you know.
Yeah.
And further on, looking ahead to the rest of the season, is this finally the year that Arsenal win the league?
If you could ask us after November, we'd have a better idea. November's the nightmare month. I think we can win it. So.
I'm gonna be. We go to Man United in a couple of weeks, and every time, we've never performed there. If we go there in a couple of weeks' time,
wasn't there a few years
ago? If we go there, if we get a result against Spurs, and then after the international break we go to Man United and we beat them, then I think that we've got a very, very good chance.
Yeah. If you win tomorrow as well, how badly timed is this international break from an Arsenal perspective?
Well, it's a lot better to go into one with a win over your biggest rivals than it is going into it with a loss. And then you have that mentality just remains for those 2 weeks. The players have to go away, not even surrounded by their own players, other than if they're teammates. But it's important to get that win to keep the morale high.
And outside of the Premier League, a win after that Ozil bit of magic during the week is the Champions League. I mean, it must be frustrating in Arsenal in the Champions League, because it's not just about the taking part, is it? You want to go on and do well in it, and it's been Groundhog Day in many respects in the Champions League. Does that feel different at all this season?
Not really. No. The thing is, the Champions League this season, well, I think we've got a good chance of winning it, but we're going to pick up a nightmare team from like Bayern Munich a second at the moment, Real Madrid a second. So we're going to win it, and we're going to pick up one of the big boys again from that field. I don't think we're a long way off of winning the Champions League, if I'll be honest. But if you get through to the knockout stages, anything can happen, I suppose. But personally, I want us to really challenge for the league. Europe is a bonus, but at this moment in time, I think this walk before we can run, and I want us to win the league first.
Yeah, I think the whole of the Premier League's a bit behind the 8 ball in the Champions League at the minute. I just don't think they're good enough for the teams.
No.
Great league to watch, but. Yeah. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
They're just a little
different level.
It's
a different level of players. I've said it before, and I got a lot of boos, but I prefer La Liga to the Premier League.
Really, to watch.
So in some games, but I mean, I prefer it. Just you get more quality. I think with Real Madrid and even Atletico, actually, ironically lost 2-0 to Sociedad today. But I mean, it's the quality of players, the types of players you get. It's full on attack. It's end-to-end football. Defensively, it's not like the Italian league. It's all about attacking football.
I think the thing in La Liga as well is the reason that it's always the same teams up there. You won't ever have a Leicester story, is because it's 20 teams playing, passing Spanish football. Whereas in in England, you get the Stokes and the West Broms or whatever trying to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think
makes it more spectacle to watch. With the results from poll 3 on Twitter at FanTVUK, thank you everyone that got involved with that. It was the Toby Alderweireld, Lauren Koscielny one. 54% went for Toby Alderweireld, 46% over Lauren Koscielny. There'd be a tasty partnership, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I should have retweeted that.
Yeah. So to be honest, I'm not going to argue that. I don't think there's much between the pair of them. I think they're both really, if that would have come up 50-50, I wouldn't have been surprised, to be honest. I think he's a very, very good defender, and so is Koscielny. I think that they both nick a few goals as well. So,
Koscielny likes to throw his in, though.
Yeah, he does.
Against Burnley, that'll do.
I'll take it. I'm not going to lie.
And behind them, the men in between the sticks, 2 wonderful goalkeepers.
For me, Lloris nicks it. Because I think there's inconsistencies from shots that come from outside the box. And we saw that against West Ham, the first game last season, and even coming out to punch the ball and stuff. But that's no slight on the man. Cech is a world-class goalkeeper, something that we've missed for years, and finally getting him with years of Almunia and then Szczesny and him smoking in the showers. And Fabianski. Although Fabianski's gone to Swansea and he's done extremely well. But for me, Lloris nicks it in terms of quality, but he's only one of the few players in that 11 that I think Spurs have a better player in the position. So.
Yeah. And sorry, quickly, I'm miles away there. On the sack race, latest odds as well. I just want to update you with those. Despite the result today, Moyes is still 8-15 on favourite to get sacked by Sunderland. I think that's a bit harsh. I feel that's a bit
Well,
unfair.
I think today he's proved, you know, to go to Bournemouth, be losing 1-0 and then go down to 10 men and turn it around. That shows that he's definitely got the players on the side to do that.
Yeah.
So
I'm amazed
I think that's a little bit harsh.
Not worth. I don't think that's worth putting a punt on, is it? At 8-15. But now after today, Alan Pardew is 7-2, the second favourite. We heard Kev earlier. I think Palace fans, their patience is wearing a bit thin with.
I don't, you know, I also think that that Pardew ain't the most popular person around. You know what I mean? I think like people wouldn't be wouldn't be unhappy if he did get sacked. Really.
No, I think you're fair enough. Further than that, Mike Phelan is 10-1 on a par with Jose Mourinho at 10-1, which is very nice.
I'd love to spend a tenner on that and then get sacked. I'd love it. I'd love it.
That would be the most satisfactory walk into the bookmakers ever, wouldn't it?
I don't even think I'd collect it. Like, you know what I mean? Just frame it. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. After that, check this out. Matsari at 14-1. What's going on? What's going on? I think people don't trust your owners. I think is the problem there. Harsh, isn't it? Harsh. Our Watford fans not happy. And behind that, 16-1 is Aitor Karanka of Middlesbrough again. I mean, amazing. I don't know who's putting money on
I guess it's probably because they're the types of teams which could drop at any moment.
Yeah.
So that's what they're thinking about.
Yeah, that could well be it. And also, Mark, I saw you getting excited. Has there been another goal? Pedro, 5-0. Since that switch to the back three, I have to admit that Chelsea.
So they shop to a back four soon, then, like, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
It's looking good, that is, isn't it?
Chelsea,
that's a great result for them tonight. You know, put the pressure on put the pressure on all us lot tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, well played to them.
Yeah, right. You predicted 1-0. You predicted 2-1. Thank you very much, guys. Our time is up here on Fan TV, but thank you as ever for joining us on the lime green sofa. Thank you to all my guests as well, not you guys as well. Well done, you guys. Well done, you guys. And all the Skype callers as well. Sorry to say that due to technical trouble, we couldn't get Kenny Ken on, but I'm sure he'll rant at some point this week on Thursday. He'll be back. We are back on Tuesday, where Justin Lee Collins will take you through all the weekend's games, and we will be previewing the international break. Boo, boo, boo. I hate an international break. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope results went your way today, and if you've got a game tomorrow as well, best of luck. We will see you Tuesday. Have a good weekend.